up, everyone out there on the intertubes? If you're feeling fancy, please don't forget to like, follow, or subscribe.
Even if you're not feeling fancy, just do it anyway.
That's true. Even if you're feeling just a little bit normie today, we all do. And you can't quite get your 5G chip connected to the interwebs.
That's right, Stephanie. In fact, you probably didn't know this, but Amy will be the one inspecting the foreskins to make sure whether you have had your foreskin off or not, she'll still be checking down there.
She knows if you have foreskin. She knows if you do not. It doesn't matter anyway. She loves a good cock. Anyway, welcome to our Skeptic Bible Study. If you were able to not only follow on Twitch or subscribe on YouTube, that gains you access to that bell icon, which when set to all, will send you reminders to see our premieres or join our live streams. That's right now. Is this being recorded? Okay, let's do it live. Yes, that is. And what is up? Ahoy! What is up, a grumpy old Cuss?
Hey, Grumpy.
What is up, a Stephanie Helms? This better be worth it. Woo! That's right. If you're gonna cut off your foreskin, better be like, yeah, I think this Judaism thing is for me.
T-shirt. I lost my foreskin, and all I got was
this fucking god that named himself Jealous. Yeah. And what's up, Beamsy? This is why I use
by a rabbi.
Touched by a rabbi for the very first time. But also, Beamsy, this is why I use the computer input for direct connections. And also on the Twitchosphere, which I should keep on sending out the link for, because we're almost at 100. I know, keep
Pretty
on
close.
saying that. We're at 86 or something like that now. That is slowly but surely. Olivia, what is up? Ahoy. It is for the 5G, better be a 5 skin. And if you are local, you can get it from Five Guys. Great burger shop, except we're actually talking. It was a little pricey, Five Guys. A little pricey. Good burgers. A little pricey.
For the Northeast, the northern liberals.
A little Northeastern. You get a Philly cheesesteak, you get blown by Five Guys. It's what you do when you're in Philly. Yes. What's up, Chris?
Okay.
Woohoo! We are, in fact, Skeptic Bible Studying. In this episode of our Skeptic Bible Study, the Jericho Massacre. Hashtag loving God. We continue the book of Joshua as the prophet circumcises the male Israelites.
Shmishmalites? Are they still the Shmishmalites?
I think so. They have been Shmishmaliting all over the place around the desert, apparently. Whew. But yes, he also meets the captain of God's army. Not just a regular kind, God's army. I am sure that is going to end well. The captain, exactly, the captain level.
Not Captain Crunch.
I have way more respect for that captain.
Captain Crunch.
However, God plans and accomplishes the massacre of the people of Jericho. They had it covered. They had it. What? I'm being told, actually, they did not have it coming. Oh, well.
Wrong try. They were the wrong.
Oh, I'm sure they'll sort it out. Probably. Anyway, won't you join James? Exactly. Won't you join James W? Sucks to be you. Should have been God's chosen people. Actually, like a lot of the time, you don't want to be God's chosen people either.
In
Yes.
terms of massacres and massacring, it's better to be the ones doing the massacring than to be the massacred, right?
That is true. It's just very interesting that the Israelites, Shmishmalites also seem to up God's plans just as much as they achieve God's. This tends to be, oh, they're good at this job. When it comes to, like, killing people,
Oh, really?
yeah, apparently they take after their God, like in the whole drowning thing. Very good at the whole getting rid of humans thing. However, that's the tricky thing about humans. We keep on growing back. Pesky. But yeah, won't you join James W. and myself, Amy Newman, as we watch an objectively moral genocide in Joshua chapters 5 and 6.
Woohoo. Let's go.
That is right. And all right. With that, we are going to hand it over to Gilbert. We actually have signed an 8 billion trillion year contract. 666 trillion year contract with the Gilbert Godfrey. And so live.
Funny enough, even after all that time, Jesus still hasn't came back.
I know. It's like Jesus, my man. You only have one job, right? Yeah, you would think.
Coming again. We've been told Jesus is coming.
I know. You have permission. All right, hold on. Maybe he didn't know. Jesus, look, you went down on me. You went down on everyone around you. Exactly. You've been a very good boy. You may come. Nothing? Huh. You know what? It's a problem for a lot of people. Maybe it's just the anxiety of being watched. Needs us to, like, turn around. Yes. But what is up, Caterpillar?
Hey, Caterpillar.
What is up, all of you out there? Dawa streams have become more aggressive. Oh, well, speaking of which, I had I talked with James, and we both got permission from Gizmo. Is that select streams I may actually be doing, and I'll probably drag James along with me for some of them, some impromptu debate use in which I'm just going to continue trying to get summon our Lord of Props, Carrot Top, to get some super chats. However, I want to go on some Dawa streams. I want to go on some apologist streams. And they're where theism tends to lie nowadays, because I cannot imagine it is that great of an experience on the internet right now being a fundamentalist Christian.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of information, as they say. You guys are working on Tesla. What's up, Rockin' Woodworks? That's true. We call it 80 time here, unfortunately, for better or for worse. But hey, we're here. One of us are queer. What's up, Slicey Slicer? Why, thank you. And yes, I like to think that I am wearing all black tonight. I'm trying to channel my inner Wednesday. It is a massacre, and so I figured I would dress colorfully for the occasion. Once again, hashtag God of Love, just showing how much he appreciates us. What's up, Hillary's emails? Woohoo! Saw him all around. I see him on Doug. I see him on Pine Creek. I love Pine Creek. He does well in apologetic circles. I love sometimes they're always surprised fundamentalist Christians, I think, when an atheist has a more conservative bent. And so I actually love watching Pine Creek kind of just play with fundies. But yes, it doesn't matter who you are, atheist, theist, liberal, conservative, come one, come all, just not on my sheets. There are other areas you could pick. Gavin and Iron are working down there trying to make it. They don't have permission.
They're working overtime.
Jesus. Exactly. Thank you so much, James Wolfe, sending that love right back at you. But yes, enough of our shenanigans.
Gilbert, yeah.
Yes, we have him backstage. Please, Gilbert, what the hell are we doing here?
Some of you may be new to this abomination of a study. These schmucks begin by reading each episode's chapters along with the annotations on the side for funsies. The hosts are a tiny bit special, so don't mind if they butcher or replace everybody's name with something completely horrible or stupid. However, the gibberish that spews forth from their face holes will still be an attempt at reading this book from cover to cover, which I'm sure has tons of wisdom or an insight on whether we can or cannot put things up our butt. If you have time to waste screaming internet memes at random strangers, then join the Discord. Or scream at them personally at your YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch streams. Finally, don't forget to support these idiots doing more lame shenanigans at Amy Newman's Patreon page. All right, schmucks, back to you.
Woo! Thank you so very much, Gilbert.
Yep.
I hope listen, it's a bunch of schmucks right here, right all over. But I hope you're enjoying hell. And that's right, you can find our Patreon at patreon.com/Amy Newman, which helps us make even more fun content, including, and also our channel membership. Our channel is located in the description below.
Hey, Dale.
What is up, Dale? But you also, and I think we're going to start randomizing the names, so they're going to be swapping the order in the future, are new and improved.
You never know.
You never know, including sending love to the skeptic theist out there, Chris Disciple. What is up?
Thanks, Chris.
Sending love. That's true. Theists can be skeptical, especially when they don't believe in a young or flat earth. But also sending love to Dale Fastel. We saw Dale down there.
Thanks, Dale.
Kind of reminding us that we're just looking for a little bit of empirical evidence. They kind of freak out. They, once again, being young earth creationists. I could say creationists. Now, there are some creationists that are actually scientifically minded, can put their head into two buckets. However, a lot of the flack we get is, James, by even wanting empirical evidence, you're actually not even a reasonable person. Why would you want? It's cheating. James, he's an all-powerful God. He specifically, because he has a big wang. But why would you want
infinite in size, Newman?
Infinite in size and growing somehow.
Don't question the size of it.
Exactly. Or it makes a trach. We wouldn't want that. But not even a little bit of empirical evidence, no. But thank you, Dale. Thank you, Chris. And thank you, James
Like
Wolfe.
Pinocchio, every time he tells a lie in the Bible, it gets a little bit longer. So
yes. Also, go check out
his
the
thing
nuclear.
is right now basically nearly fills the observable universe.
Well, they like to say they, as in, I guess, Hasidic Jews and the majority of Christians like to say it's the most historically accurate document that we have, the Bible. Wow. Why even teach anything else? We have this right here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. I mean, I can't think of anything more accurate, really.
No, really. No. It really happened. Hey, James, did you know that there was once a time... This is another thing I get to. I try not to tangent, but who doesn't tangent? Like, if the snake was a snake,
Back
okay?
to the snake.
Let's just talk internal
the Christians
logic
are
of
like,
mythos.
oh, here we
No,
go.
because it does. It bothers me. From like a myth building, you can tell it's retconned all over the place. Because why would God punish snakes? Okay? If it makes sense from a Jewish standpoint, okay? There was snakes with legs. That was their thing. They had legs. They were just fine with legs.
Sure.
But a snake fucked up. And apparently he fucked it up for everybody. Either he gave birth to all the future snakes, so that was the first snake, or he screwed it up for everybody. God damn it, Tom.
The male snake gave birth.
Yes, very specifically. And they lost their legs. That is the reason, the very specific reason why snakes don't have legs.
Well, think about it, Amy. We all like our legs. We wouldn't want to be without our legs. So why would snakes evolve to not have legs? Doesn't make any sense.
Exactly.
Only reason they would not have legs is if God made them not have legs. You know,
James,
you can't talk to these stupid evolutionists who just don't know anything.
Yeah. You have to understand that we are the pinnacle of like everything forever. And so like animals and other beings are constantly trying to become like us. And so it makes sense that a snake would want legs.
If we like legs, then they should want to have legs.
We should have
They look at us like, why don't I have those?
But okay. Snake, legs, no legs. You're with me. Everyone's with me. Okay. But if that snake is Satan, okay, why do all the snakes get over? Okay? If that snake was not a snake, but was in fact the Lord
possessed
Satan,
by Satan, yeah.
Yes. If it was I guess it's not the Antichrist, but some sort of evil being that is not of the snake variety, why you hurting on my poor snakes, man? You should just give them their legs back. Clearly, it was 50% satin.
Well, I mean, y'all know the story. You know, God he made Adam and Eve, and he put them in this garden, and there were trees, and he says you can eat from every other tree, but this tree, don't eat the fruit. It's very bad fruit. This is a tree of knowledge, and or they'll say the tree of science. If you eat this, you're gonna be smart. You're gonna know things that I don't want you to know. And so God he walked away. He left. He had better things to do. And then what happens after that is the devil, Satan. He comes into the garden, but he just doesn't come as himself because that would be obvious. He disguises himself as a talking snake with legs. He goes up to Adam and Eve, well, specifically Eve, the woman, and he starts saying these terrible things, these really disgusting things like, knowledge is good.
Hold on. I got a good thing to represent a woman. Here we go. Okay, I got this.
Being ignorant is not good, and knowing things would be better. Now, Eve was trying to stick with what God said. No, knowledge is not good. Science is not good. God made me dumb so I don't know anything because that's the way he wants me. And, Satan, he just kept piling on there with his logic. And you got to know things. You should be smart. You should educate yourself. And eventually, she gave in. She ate the fruit. She called over Adam. And, well, of course, he ate it too. And then they ate it. And then what happened right there? God walks by. And, he's real curious because I guess being
Aren't we all?
knowing everything. And, now he doesn't know everything. And, so he's like, what's going on? What are you doing? Why are you guys wearing clothes now? Because they weren't wearing clothes before.
How did you learn how to make clothes, first of all?
Yeah.
But then, yes, why are you...
Adam didn't want God to see his wee-wee, so he covered himself. And then God was like, what's going on? You made clothes. You must have ate the fruit. Did you eat the fruit? I know you ate the fruit. I'm God. Of course, they come clean. Yeah, God. Okay, we ate the fruit. He gets a little mad, He gets actually a little mad. He said, that's it. I have to bring death. I have to condemn billions of people to hell. I have to kick you out of the garden. Sorry. Nothing I can do about it. That's it. But that's not all God did either. No.
But wait.
He looked at Satan. He looked at Satan there, disguised as that snake. And he was furious. And he was like, how could you let yourself be possessed by Satan? I mean, it wasn't your fault, but still I'm mad. And he looked at Satan. Well, no, he actually didn't really care about Satan. He didn't do anything with Satan, but he looked at that snake and he was furious. And he said, I'm about to take your legs away. That's it. I don't have any choice.
No.
So it says, I'm going to take your legs away. You're going to crawl on your belly and eat dust forever. And now evolutionists will say that snakes evolved to eat small mammals or animals that they could chew and swallow whole into their mouth. But
it's ridiculous.
Why would snakes evolve to eat dust? It doesn't make
James,
sense why they would eat dust.
Two things I know. Animals can have to eat dust, and women cannot use their mouth down there. That's a man's job. Two things I know in life.
So says Jesse. But yeah. So God, in his infinite wisdom, he didn't punish Satan. He punished the animal that also has no concept of right or wrong because it's a fucking animal. It also was completely powerless being possessed by Satan. He didn't have a choice in the matter, but God still saw fit to punish him because he's God. And he punishes people for things that their grandparents did. And he tells us about it too. Like, I will punish you
forever and
the
ever.
Sixth generation. Yeah, I will punish you for things your grandparents did. Even Jesus himself, the Prince of Peace, says, the servant who didn't even know what his master wanted him to do, you didn't know what your master wanted you to do, but you still didn't do it. So you don't get off with nothing. You still get a beating, but you just get a light beating. You don't get beat like
that kind of beating. Okay.
You don't get beat like to within an inch of your life, but you do get beat because you still should have known what you couldn't have known.
Yes, you were still a very naughty boy, and now you need to get beaten. But yes.
Oh no, Gavin, not you. Get back down there, Gavin. Get back down there. You've been a good boy. You're not bad.
No permission yet. But yes, I really just wanted to kind of. It's a shitty deal for snakes because it makes like mythical sense. Still fucked up for snakes in the Old Testament variety, but then the New Testament variety, man. The snakes really get it raw. Like, they didn't really do anything.
Well,
they're like, but Tom was just possessed, like you said.
It's just the ancient Hebrews like looking like, hey, why don't snakes have legs? So like, oh, damn, I don't know. Why don't snakes have legs? Everything else has legs. Why don't? Oh, well, they used to have legs.
Actually, can I do a more accurate representation of what probably happened circa 3,500 BC.
Knock yourself out.
Okay, here we go. Okay, this is us discovering barley. Okay, we're doing agriculture. We're growing things. The barley is growing. We're messing with the hobs. Really weird. All right. We already have bread. Might as well try some experiments. We're mixing and we're. It's okay. Maybe it needs a orange slice or something. Okay. You know what? Here we go. And you know what? That was like the first man, and like from like the rib, like the creator dude, and like the woman popped out, and like from the woman,
You fucked it up.
yeah, and she was like, "I'm in charge now because feminism." And then the snake comes along, and is like, "Hey, wouldn't you like to have knowledge?" And yeah, talking snakes and shit. It's like a Hollywood classic. I think that's basically how it happened. Also,
Don't drink Blue Moon.
listen. I feel like every bitterness, it just needs a hint of sweetness. Anyway, sending love to Chris, Dale, James Wolfe. We see him out there and everywhere because James Wolfe is amazing. We're sending him love back. Love you, James. We're howling at the moon. Oh, because we kind of do late night streams, which is kind of inadvertently great because we have a worldwide audience, and we want to just keep on growing that. Though one day, James and myself both have the goal on touring. I want to at least do the capitals of every city, whether you're a flyover, a coast, whatever. Yeah, because I feel like you could find a grouping in a state capital no matter what. It might take a little while, but I would like to do that, and then I'd like to visit every country. I may have to inadvertently visit some in more difficult ways than others, because some of us would, they're still kind of still doing this to us. Swing of the sword and your head is gone. Religion. But we love, once again.
Slicey Slicer thinks. It's been a short year so far, but no complaints so far.
Yeah, it's been pretty. I would say the same thing because I have a new kitten, and I just, how can you not have basically a good year when you have a new kitten? I'm in Columbus. Come on over. Sounds fantastic. That is the goal. I'm trying to remember which comedian says that it's not that you have to find an audience everywhere. It's that you need to find your community and be able to draw them out. And so I feel like the state capital is a good way, exactly, because a state capital isn't always the biggest. For example, I graduated from Wilmington University. Wilmington is not the largest, or getting it backwards. Dover is the capital of Delaware, and Wilmington is just the largest city in Delaware. But
I think a lot of states it's like that. Florida down here, Tallahassee is not a big city. It's nothing compared to like Orlando, Jacksonville, Miami, St. Petersburg, Tampa, Austin. You got Texas. Austin is way smaller than like Houston, San Antonio, Dallas.
I 100% agree. But hopefully the state capitals will at least be, and we can always go to bigger locations if they aren't that. But hopefully at least the state capitals will be big enough that we can get some non-believers or skeptics, or if you even want to use that atheist word, we're normalizing it, baby.
You're not a flat earther, are you, Rockin' Woodworks? I know you're not. Come on, Rockin'. I think he's joking. He's trolling there.
Large community by farms across graveyards across the world. Sorry, across the flat Earth. It is interesting though. I think he's joking, but I think it is funny how much that the flat earthers are growing. I am excited to do more debates and more debunking videos, not just of flat Earth. We just need to do other ones of like just silly ones like chemtrails. We're gonna the 9/11 thing I think is getting pushed back, but we're still figuring something out. Because
slavery is still on the table, on deck.
Yeah. Well, I always say I've been figuring out the way to really frame it, because 9/11 was a conspiracy. It just wasn't an inside job. There were people behind the scenes conspiring, working together, planning so that they could hijack planes and commit religious war, as they call it, jihad. Yes. Once again, that's just the Arabic-sounding flavor of it, but it really could be. It's holy war. It could be. It could be any religion.
Yes, though we love all people. We're not against Muslims.
Well, see, you can hear James's. I have to preface it. We have to walk a very tight line, in my opinion, because if you alienate the liberals, then what happens is you get a debate on whether we should even accept people and all this not be prejudiced, which the answer is always no. Of course, we should not be prejudiced. Yes, we should accept people, blah, 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 blah. We should always accept people's feelings, personal experiences, and emotions. However, Islam, it was founded at a time. It is coasting on a Abrahamic foundation. It's got a lot of not good stuff.
Say the least.
Its prophet was, in my opinion, very shady, to say the least. Again, a lot of people will say, or a lot of Muslims will say, well, can't you command someone who is a leader, who is, we call him a warlord, but someone who can, that was kind of the thing to do in the day. Killing people and pillaging, no matter what day and age, it really shouldn't be the thing to do. There are no prophets, and we'll have to just go to, I have never been comfortable. I'm getting increasingly uncomfortable with how they defend Aisha and her relationship with Muhammad. Yeah,
it's
like I said,
pretty terrible, but
a tightrope, because you gotta hate the religion. Well, you don't have to hate religion. You gotta, our opinion, we dislike severely, but not the believers, because I think they're all in cults. I'm starting to use the C word more and more and more, and try. It's hard because they instantly take it as an insult because it is used so much as a pejorative. I guess there really isn't a good usage of the word cult. And so
sometimes you gotta call a spade if it makes people a little uncomfortable.
They are religious. They're these charismatic leaders who often want you to go to death for them, or have often told you that they have sacrificed their lives for you. I would check your wallet. The invisible product. Yeah. Sending love to James.
Sending love.
James Wolfe. Sending love to Rachel Holland. Lovely, fabulous, amazing. Reminding us that the Bible actually has non-consensual slavery. Oh, yes. But it also has non-consensual slavery, the kind of just like taking your people from the nations around you. I really don't like this episode.
Hey, Rachel, good to see you out there, Rachel.
What's up, Rachel? cult members are not true Scotsmen, Newman. What's up, Pookie Mins? Is that... I can't tell if you're saying... Are you saying that is a no true Scotsman? Or that's not... That is a thing. Sends in love, Pookykins. Here's the thing. So people don't like... They go either way on Joe Rogan. But the go-to quote that I use of his is, do you want to know the difference between a cult and a religion? Well, in a cult, the leader knows that he's full of shite. In a religion, that guy's dead. And that really seems to apply so much. It's not always true, but it's so much. What is up, Buster Jangle? What is up, Captain Red? He says, Titan, you're everywhere. That's right. What is up, the one and only Titan, your anus?
Got Rubiks out there on Twitch and YouTube.
What is up, Rubiks? Also,
I think you think Titan has the record for timing Otangelo on the most streams simultaneously at like 5 or 6.
And I'll tell you, so I have mixed feelings about Orange Jello, because when you compare him to other theists lately, just exhausting. Maybe I'm just in such the pools that I've been swimming in lately.
Maybe true.
Just such, once again, now let me say something to all of the places that I've been hanging out in. If you are a mod, especially on a lot of these Discords and stuff, you are lovely. I know this will sound weird and they won't know this, but like the random women mods on the stream that I hang out with, no, all the random women, even the theist women on a lot of these streams. I hate to have like my feminista movement, but like they are all very calm and chill. Even the Christians, the Muslims, oddly enough. But these sending love out to, I guess, 13 to 35-year-old guys with too much testosterone out there. You're gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Theism isn't. I know that when we insult Daddy. James, when we insult who?
Daddy?
Come on. Not Daddy. Who is it?
Dad. There you go. Ultimated Judeo-Christians.
Listen, as someone who tries to, as often as possible, get into a schoolgirl outfit, and Rachel and I try and find ourselves a daddy, it is not often that I hear a theist try to explain how not only did he reach orgasm from God, no. He got God's orgasm too. And I have to say,
that's got to be something in it for God.
Listen, that's when you know it's a good relationship, James. We say all the time that it's an unhealthy relationship to be speaking with God. But I guess if God gets you off and you get God off, it's mutual, right?
Yeah. That's
probably
what
Rubiks is like,
what?
Yo, and not only what, like this is the person that proves that like our makes you question if pose are real. Slicey Slicer, I know, and I wish. Can I tell you? Not only is it lewd, but this gentleman has broken me multiple times. But he will do. He has like 100 subscribers, and he will do like nothing against like anyone who does 9-hour streams. But like, if you are a Poe and you're doing 9-hour streams about how well that you just Jesus, I may believe you.
He is God's best friend. God told him
best
that.
friend. Oh my God! I forgot said that. I feel like such an edgelord fedora when we say these things out loud.
You remember when he
Because-
said, "Me and Mark Reid are going to," at the end, he knows me and Mark Reid are going to convert to Christianity and be saved. But you and Beamsy, you're screwed, Amy. You're screwed. You won't do it. 'Cause God already
No, exactly.
Apparently, I'm faking it right now. I'm going to at some point be a Christian again. According
Oh,
to
exactly.
ultimately,
Eventually, you'll come back to Jesus, and then Jesus will come
Right,
all
right.
over us. Oh, and
apparently
yes.
that's what happens. Yeah.
And so, and I also, can I tell you another thing?
Oh, I better cut.
What is
Look
up?
at
I
there.
keep on saying that. Is that I keep on trying. I am like just starting. I keep on hearing or on old episodes of the ACA. When I listen to a lot of the ACA's experience, they're always like, why don't you put the good theists on? You only put the silly theists that make us look
Crazy
stupid.
one.
And then we send out those open mics and we don't
There's
get a lot back.
Who call?
Exactly. Except ones like Ultimated. Yo, what is up, Brett Keane in the house?
Hey, Brett.
This is how much I'm a procrastinator and terrible of a human being. You made a video to me a while ago. I didn't ignore it. It is literally on my to-do list, and I am that much of James Cameron beat me to releasing my Avatar Mythic Structure video, and he released a new Avatar, which means that I might be a bit of a procrastinator. But yes, I'll eventually get back to that, and I'll release it, and I'll tag you. So what's up, Brett? Sends in love. The lead singer of 9 Inch, Manatee Nails. I love manatees. Oh, the humanity. Who we on? On we were talking about slavery. Sending love to Rachel. Sending love to Rachel, and sending love to James because he's doing a debate on slavery upcoming soon. And then
that is next Wednesday, as a matter of fact.
Boom.
That's right. A week from tonight. Well, yesterday, because it just turned. Yeah, but you know what I mean.
Supposed to go.
Sending love to KJV. Yes, KJV.
Oh my gosh. She disappeared on the little place that I chat
She's
with.
gone.
She
Poor,
she kind of. Are you in or out? She kind of came back to post a few things about aliens, and what I think kills her.
You're an alien now.
Do you really want to know what she does? She says, I'm fairly sure that I don't know if it's the whites. One of the races is from being controlled or from aliens.
Yeah, the white races.
It depends on whether she's taking her medication. Speaking of your medication, and once again, it's gonna be. We try to tidy things up, but it's been a while. Is that Yi went back into whatever, and I said I wouldn't, and I'm not going to be using him anymore because I said I'd just do that for one episode. But what tends to happen with bipolar disorder is that you have really manic episodes, and then you have really depressive episodes, and the higher the mania, normally the corresponding lower the depression. And so if anybody wanted any further evidence that he was probably suffering from something, I imagine he is now in the other swing of that. And so hopefully someone, while he is in there, will be able to get him help, and he will come out there a better person. Let's hope. Fingers crossed. Anyway, Chris, Dale, James, Rachel, and Senator Cato sending so much love. You are amazing. The separation of church and state is what makes us kind of amazing. I'm not, like I said, not trying to use the West anymore. It's kind of like secular society. Secular society allows us to have our religion or not. It's kind of amazing, as another gay gentleman said.
Amazing.
That's so funny. I lost the kitty and I gained a kitty. Hi, Penelope.
Coming in for refuge, peace, and quiet.
Yes. Well, it's so funny. And we have another kitty. We have another kitten in the over because we're getting her shots because she was the birthday cat kitten that I talked about. She's over there, Lola, waiting to get her shots and everything tomorrow. And then Buttercup is just happy because she has someone her size again. It's like the first time she's like, another kit. It's like this. Because she's used to, I swear, she's the only, it's like this big. And she'll like chase after the dog or paw or pounce on the dog. It's amazing. Amazing. So sending love, and then the last three, sending love, special loves to Ian Davenport. Boom, 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 boom. Reminding us that creationist arguments suck. The heart does not look like a watch. They really, and I love that they have to really take. Well, they take these they take deistic arguments that have nothing to do with the Jesus, and they make them. I don't know. You kind of have to like turn one side of your brain off, like Pascal's wager, you know? Hey, but yes, watchmaker,
desperate to believe it anyway.
Yes, they're not really tend to win anyone over unless you're in a Dawa circle, apparently. Then the Kalam, apparently.
I don't even think it wins them over. Well, maybe some of them.
Well, I really don't. Everything that exists has a cause. Does God have a cause? Well, I mean, about this everything existing thing. Okay, thank you. Anyway, sending love to Ian Davenport. Sending love to Matt D. The universe in your hand. Well, actually, a galaxy, because we can explain how galaxies, solar systems, planets, round planets, actually form. Testicles. I just was watching an Impractical Jokers where his punishment was he had to, in front of a live audience, talk with his fake wife about how he had a problem which gave him some of the world's smallest testicles. He had a doctor show up and they put like a thing and he did the scrotum and he was like, these are indeed the smallest testicles that I have ever. It's good. Once again, just I dream a genie of things that I would like to do with us one day. Is some sort of show where we're just doing nonsense, silly nonsense.
Totally silly.
Well, because I somewhere between Jackass and Impractical Jokers is who I am in the heart. Some sort of stunt stupidness. Because I could talk with strangers, oddly enough, about almost anything. And so I would like to do that for entertainment. There's going to be more Skeptic on the Street when it stays this weather. And for James, it'd be freezing. But it was in the 50s, I think almost up to the 60s today, which is beautiful. Which is beautiful weather here. And so if it becomes, but it's going to eventually go back down to 8 or whatever. Hi, Penelope. You want to say hi, everybody?
Go from freezing to absolutely frigid Arctic conditions.
Indeed. But it's okay. Because Penelope's in here and all warm. I know. No food.
Last two Patreons. Last two.
Yeah. Okay, actually, it's just the last. The last.
Last one.
The last one. And in fact, the theme of the night, we do want to give a very, very, very special thank you to Regos! Woo! Doom, boom, 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 boom. Reminding us that we have a Skeptic Bible Study, and when we say ye, we actually mean ye go over there and stab someone in the old-time fashion. Yes, it gets very thespian in here. Through the eye, yes. Do it for Mama. Hashtag, once again, loving God. But thank you so much, Regos. You are amazing. And I really want to thank all of our Patreons at patreon.com/Amy Newman, as well as all of the growing and fantastic channel members out there. I'm going to cough. The Satan just flowing through me. With our evolving badge system, because once again, we pray to time. Apparently, James and I are made of it with all of how long we do our openings. Yeah, I know. We're still doing it. But what's up, Wes? Everyone should check Wes out. Another fantastic YouTube content creator. What is up, Nick? In time, on time, fancy $400 on the spine. Badges will never evolve. You can't make me.
We don't need those stinking badges.
We don't need those stinking badges. But yes, okay. I think with that, during our Skeptic Bible Studies, we try to greet everybody on the screen. Like, what is up? And in fact, just say one more love, as everyone out there, Rubiks Cube, and Wes, and Nick, and Slicer, and Titan,
final love,
and Sage, and Benny, and everybody out there. Miracle, please tell. Oh my, you're gonna do that to me right today. Okay, please tell it to me why you are no believe in God. Okay, so I'm gonna give you my 2 big reasons, and then you can just react. So, the foundation, and that it's always built upon. Let's start with what you guys call lack theism. Let's start with the foundation that there is no good evidence that God exists. I say good because eyewitness testimony, personal experience, all of the above is evidence. It's just not good evidence. A holy book, the book saying a thing, stuff like that. It is evidence. It is just not good evidence. So let's put that on the table. We have no good evidence. What evidence do we have? Well, we currently have evidence that the only minds that we know of are on this planet, planet Earth, and it only tends to be, as far as we can tell, one branch of life on the multicellular level, which tends to be what we call animals. This branch of life that we call animals tends to have a conscious experience that is naturally connected to being physical because it is a needed mechanism in contrast to the life that is not conscious. And thus, without this physicality, without this real need to have a conscious, mindful experience with no brain, with no body, it leads me at least in the direction of believing that there would be no God. But I'm open to being shown that I'm wrong and silly. Speaking of someone fabulous and silly, the sinister porpoise. And wonderful.
Now, an open mic time is a great time to bring that up, but we can't do that in the middle of a Bible study, like have a back and forth. We'd be here all night. We'd be here till 6 a.m. trying to have that discussion and do the Bible study at the same time.
Gotcha. I forgot that you have to at least wake up at a decent time. What is up? What the heck? There goes Amy with the word salad again. And all right. So with that, we are going to break into it. Keep on tagging us. But we are going into our...
Here we go.
But yes, if you want to, I can't help it. If you want your specific thoughts, questions, or one-liners read out loud, you at least tag us at Amy Newman. I'll try and read them, go through them quickly. We have open mics. They tend to be... Is that a cat? I heard someone hit the door. But with that, if this is the first time to your series, you may be asking, what version? Oh! Woohoo! And I want to actually see the super sticker. Sending so much love from Clovis and Meekix. $10 sending
Thanks,
a
Clovis.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you so very much, Clovis. That is very kind of you. We like to do all of these Bible studies as kind of our give back to the skeptic community. And so we thank you for sending love back at us.
Appreciate it, yeah.
And all right, we'll keep that up there because we want to know. If this is your first time to the Bible study, what is the specific book that we're reading? Well, that leads us to our categories.
Before we begin, I'm going to start by going over the specific Bible we'll be reading, along with some helpful category marks. Categories, you say? Why, yes I do. You see, we're going to be reading from the Skeptic's Annotated Bible, an entire King James Bible lovingly fawned over by a skeptic who decided he would add his own notations. These are little flagpoles of sanity put in use to remind us that, hey, maybe slavery is evil, including categories like absurdity, injustice, and cruelty, but also a good amount of intolerance, contradictions, and conflicts with science or history. That doesn't mean it's not packed full of misogyny, false prophecy, and some questionable biblical family values. Now, we won't skip the good parts that the Bible has, only that these passages seem far fewer in number than any priest or pastor seems to suggest. So without further ado, won't you come join the skeptic crew?
She will be right back. Here she is, making record time. Blocking all the outside world out. Welcome back, Amy. You lost your schmizzle there?
Woo-hoo. Yes. What is up? And all right. With that, welcome everyone to tonight's episode of our Skeptic Bible Study.
Welcome. No.
In and on the previous episode, the Jordan-Peterson River, we continued the book of Joshua as we crossed the Jordan River, then talked about 12 men and 12 stones in said river. As we get stoned somewhere along a riverbed, reading the book of Joshua, chapters 3 and 4. In this episode, the Jericho Massacre, we continue the book of Joshua as the prophets circumcise the male Israelites and meet the captain of God's army.
You do realize that's the captain you're talking with, right?
You hear me, boy? Captain of God's army.
Not Captain Picard. No.
Not an actual honorable captain.
Yeah.
God's captain.
A jackass captain.
More or less. But yes, God's plan then to accomplish the massacre of the people of Jericho. So,
Yay! Oh,
with that,
wait.
won't you join James W. and myself as we watch the objectively moral genocide in Joshua chapters 5 and 6?
It's a good genocide.
Exactly. It's the kind of genocide your mother would want.
God will just make sure only the bad people die.
Woohoo! And speaking of amazing people, I see a $2 super sticker from Clovis Megix
Thanks again for the $2.
going. Hey you. Hey you. Woo-hoo-hoo. Thank you, Clovis. Woo-hoo! Thank you for all the love and support. We are sending that love and support right back at you. And we are jumping into the categories with the book of Joshua, chapter 5. Joshua circumcises the male Israelites.
Schmishvelites.
And we have 3 categories right up on the dock. We have,
Doc.
my favorite. I mean, James, when you think of the Bible, don't you think of how funny it is?
It is pretty funny.
Indeed. I always like to think that the answer.
God's got a sense of humor, and I got to give him credit for that.
Exactly. At least God likes to laugh along.
As
and
people, you know, he
what,
laughs
James?
as they're dying.
That brings us actually to our second section, which is going to be a whole bunch of genocide. Lots of violence.
Oh, a lot of violence, huh?
A lot of violence. Yes, I shouldn't say I'm almost jumping the gun on the genocide. We'll just start off with some violence.
Well, it's a good thing that it's God, so he can make sure they all had it coming, right? He can make sure that nobody, that didn't deserve it is getting having anything bad happen to him.
Also, I'm sending love. I'm trying to see, Clovis, are you a Patreon or is that towards someone else? I'm trying to understand. Sending love, though, because I support all of our supporters here, whether you are a channel member, supporter, super chatter,
Patreon, super chatter,
Patreon,
or
just a subscriber, viewer. Yes.
Iron Horse.
Woo-hoo. Exactly, working full time. And also, last but not least, boom, boom, boom. Well, of course, it's really not going to be fair until God judges you.
Oh, no. So,
Yeah.
I mean, of course, it's going to be a fair judgment because it's God, right?
Exactly. It's going to be the objectively subjective God that's judging us. So we got this good.
Woohoo.
Woo-hoo. And all right, Joshua circumcises the male Israelites. Who's up first? And it came to pass like a kidney stone. Oh, God, drink more water.
The first time that the guys aren't lining up in front of Amy with their pants down. They're all kind of acting shy. Usually the guys just go running right up.
You would think. I was just saying I want to take a little off the top, and then they all just start fleeing. Everyone's like, oh my God, I don't want you to take a stone to my junk. Whatever. Why is everyone so picky? Wait, we have new modern technology. I got this. Will a knife do?
Yeah, It's for God. It will make God happy. I mean, come on.
Exactly. It will make all of you happy. Just cut off a little bit of your... Yeah.
I mean, it'll make God happy. What more could you want? Of course it would be worth losing any part of your body to make God happy.
And all right. And it came to pass. So when all the queens of the Amorites, which were on the side of the Jordan Peterson westward, that was what we just
Sounds like a hotel.
just watched.
The Jordan Westwood.
Exactly. And all the queens of the Canaanites, which you could tell how these are basically two opposing sides, because these guys are they're always like, "Am I right?" and these guys are always like, "Can I not?" I know, just two totally different sides, which were by the sea, under the sea. Well, they actually heard that the Lord Bob, this
Shout
lovely
out to Pat.
lady.
How you doing, Pat?
What's up, Pat? We are
Barbaretta there.
The lovely Barbaretta, because we're setting up. You know, oddly enough, even as we're sitting here cutting the tips off of genitals, this is the gentler chapter. Oh boy, yeah, exactly. And they heard that the Lord Barbaretta had dried up all of the Gatorades of the Jordan Peterson from before the children of the corn of Israel.
Shmishmael.
Until we were passed over, like tinder, that their heart melted like a love song. Neither was there spirit in them, mostly because it wasn't past Halloween yet, and they had to kind of, they're not going to just take over a store until it gets closer to Halloween, or I should say it's past in them anymore, because of the children of the corn of Israel.
Shmishmael.
It's true. What the hell did we just read? When the Amorites and Canaanites heard that God had dried up the Jordan so the Israelites could cross over, their hearts melted. Fantastic. At that time, very specifically, because if you miss the time, on time, I hear kitty scratches. I have a special guest. Yes, we do. Hi, Penelope.
Miss Penelope is back.
Oh, I didn't go. You want to sit? How about that? I know what you really want, which is food. How about sitting? But yes, and now I need to get another chair. Hold on.
Your cats got catnapped.
Yeah, unfortunately.
As is known to happen sometimes on the show.
Listen, I'm pretty sure it's the cats that run everything.
Definitely. Right, Titan?
All right. Oh, and she's down. As soon as I
She's trolling you at that point.
Probably. But they're so cute. Okay. Speaking of cuteness, back to the Bible. I'm pretty sure people have said that before. Probably. I want to make a Kaiwi Jesus. Oh my god, I want to make a Kaiwi Moses, Jesus, and Muhammad. It could be an RPG. I'm all for it. At that time, speaking of lords, the Time Lord is coming back.
Edgelord?
Almost close. That's right, baby. Join the Discord. Right there in that link description. We have after shows after every episode. And hopefully, I need to figure out how to create some organic debate going on in there. Maybe if someone wants to challenge me, because a lot of times I go on their ground, their stomping ground. Sometimes I gotta maybe bring people on to the skeptic and ranting. At the time, the Lord said the Lord said Lord Barbaretta said unto our ribbed Joshua, the new prophet who took over from Moses, well, make thee sharp knives and circumcise again the children of the corn of Israel
Shmishmael.
the second time. Second time, just to make sure you got things right. And Joshua, who I imagine once again very ripped, is like, woo, made him sharp knives. And what are you gonna do when God tells you to cut the foreskins off children? Well, by gosh darn it, we're gonna cut the foreskins off children.
Well, I mean, like you would never I mean, that would be almost as bad as giving kids puberty blocker. I mean, actually mutilating the genitals of children.
James, I cannot imagine a nation systematically mutilating the genitals of children.
I know that it's appalling, to be honest with you. It's absolutely appalling.
And all right, foreskins chopping. The children of Israel, Shmishmael, at
the foreskins are popping, Yahweh.
What the fuck is this?
Yahweh's hopping.
Yeah, when the foreskins are popping, Yahweh's hopping. At the hill of the foreskins. What the hell is the hill of the foreskins?
Maybe they throw them all in a big pile, and it's like 50 feet high, so they just call it the hill of foreskins.
Stephanie's like, can I just have I'll take that, but can you hold the circumcision? I just need like a little bit less circumcision. Do you have butter? Do you have cheese? No? Barbecue sauce? And this is the cause. This very specifically is the cause of syphilis. I mean, why Joshua did circumcise. All the people that came out of Egypt. It's kind of a weird job. What's your job? I circumcise everyone that comes out of Egypt. I'm sorry. I mean New York, because we're talking about real places.
The land of New York.
Yes. The land of New York that were males.
Except Andrew Cuomo. Not Andrew Cuomo. You can't circumcise Andrew Cuomo. That's in the contract.
That were males. Even all the men of war. Even all the men of war. Not the men. I mean, we were going to circumcise all the men not of war, but well, they
men of war on the Portuguese men of war on the beaches. You don't want to circumcise them. You don't go anywhere near them. Yeah.
Did you know a Portuguese man of war is not only are they a multicellular item, but they're a colonial item, which actually means they are not a group of single-celled organisms.
Not one animal.
They are a group of multi-celled organisms to come together as a bigger item. That is something crazy to me. Feel free to check out the short video, Mad Facts, that I did on circumcision back in the Biddy Buddha days on my very sad YouTube channel. That's okay, Pat. You always have a home right now, or right here. I like shouting things while I have a knife in my hand. But Pat, you are always loved. I can come on here because you are always spitting mad facts, and we always love having you on.
Always learn something. Every time you have Pat on the channel, I guarantee, even if you know all about this stuff, you will learn something new that you didn't know before.
Well, and I always think it's interesting who people highlight in their circles. The creationists and their apologists and presuppositional circles, they all have their big names. We tend to just care about academics. We kind of revere Pat and Dr. Josh and
people actually know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah. James Wolfe even Beamsy when he's not being naughty. Okay, even when he's being naughty.
He's not worshiping that ass.
Who isn't though? All right, we're circumcising everyone that came. Let's get back to the completely normal book that was written by a god. Had to have been written by a god because it's just so perfect and makes so much sense. circumcising everyone that came out of Egypt, as if we are like, I was gonna say at a Blockbuster, at a Best
Like the
Buy,
gate-
but both
it's
of
like a
those
gate,
things are
right.
out of business.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
at
it's
the
like you're a
end.
Walmart greeter, but you circumcise people.
Or welcome to Costco. I love you. Please take your pants down. Let me,
James,
welcome to Canaan. I
welcome
love
to
you.
sir. Welcome to Canaan. I circumcise you. Welcome to Canaan. I circumcise you. It's a hard job back in the day, but you do what you got to do.
Oops, took a little extra off there. Sorry about that.
It's a little quick cut. Just take a little off the top. But yes, out of the wilderness of RuneScape. Hopefully you don't have any cool stuff on you, or else you're going to die and lose it if you're PvPing. By the way, after they came out of New York, what does that even add? Can I just read the sentence and without making fun of it? All the people that came out of Egypt that were males, even all the men of war, died in the wilderness, by the way, after they came out of Egypt. By the way, okay. That's very nice of you. By the way, just checking. Thanks.
Again,
Joshua circumcised.
Paid by the word.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody's got he's sitting there for like a cigarette. Just circumcised all the male Israelites, since all the males who left Egypt during the Exodus had died. Picky. All those that were born in the wilderness after leaving Egypt hadn't yet been circumcised. Well, I guess you know what we got to do.
Hey.
For the children of Israel, Shmishmael walked 40 years a virgin in the wilderness of RuneScape, doing PvP in it as you would in any MMORPG, till all the people that were
grind, gotta grind to get
look,
that.
You gotta grind. Gotta get that experience points. Exactly. That were the men of war, not the god of war. Much better video game, which came out of New York, a real place. Therefore, we know the Bible's true. Were consumed like a item in an RPG, a consumable, because they obeyed not the voice in their head, no, but the Lord, Barbaretta, also a voice in their head, but picky. Well, I'll tell you, in the Old Testament, I guess if God is actually talking to you, it's kind of empirical evidence. If God is screaming at you and like killing everyone around you, it is good evidence. And he also tends to physically talk in here. And yet, the moment we invent cell phones, isn't it kind of weird? That all just seems to go away.
Well, no, but you see, Amy, what happened is God just decided one day that he's not going to talk to humans like that anymore, because that's just what he decided he didn't want to do anymore. So there you go. He just doesn't do that anymore because that's just what he doesn't do.
I just want you to know, Stephanie, that they're a lovely place to get wedding photos, the hills of foreskins.
Kids love it.
Exactly. It's a fantastic place. You could do
for the whole family.
Maybe some, what is it when they do background shot B-roll. It's just beautiful landscape back there. There's a pond. Unto whom the Lord swear. I swear, baby girl, I never hurt you, that she would not shoe them the land. It would be a size 11 shoe, specifically, which the Lord Bob, this lovely lady.
A slipper.
Yeah, almost thought you were gonna say it's a slut, but yes, it's a slipper for a slut. Close enough. Which the Lord, not that there's anything wrong with that. Lord Bob swear unto their mothers that she would give us a land that floweth with that milk and honey. I love this phrase because this is when the Bible is trying to express how amazing something is going to be. Right now, at least in the Old Testament, they're like milk and honey.
Milk and honey, bitch.
Best thing that you've ever. It reminds me of like one of the Avengers or Marvel movies when one of the characters, the superhero, turns to Thor and is like, "Don't you have any candy where you come from? And he goes, of course. We have nuts and fruits. And he goes, oh, yeah. That's why you're so cranky or something. Because, yeah, milk and honey. No, definitely. The best thing ever. Then again, I do love milk and honey. Unless you're using honey for the aftertaste of ayahuasca, in which case you will not like it for a month. Because ayahuasca does not taste good. Whew. At least when you smoke DMT, man, I can't say anything because I haven't smoked anything that wouldn't be detrimental to my health. But the things that I've smoked have not. You don't know. You don't smoke anything unless you're some cigarettes and tobaccos and stuff have good taste. Unfortunately, Dave Chappelle is always like,
taste is horrible. A lot
horrible.
of the psychedelics, like peyote,
absolutely horrible.
Supposed to be like terrible.
Yep. It is basically ritualistic that you throw up. I fought very hard not to. But
Did you end up throwing up?
No, I did not. I kept it in.
You didn't really take like a heroic dose.
A heroic dose. Though I took the same dose as my friend, the cook, and she did throw up. So I fought it. I hate throwing
really
up.
Have like a heroic dose. You just took like a medium dose. Like...
I know that comes from. We haven't seen Kathy in a long time. He used to say I didn't take a heroic dose. Which, by the way, you cannot take an unheroic dose of DMT of ayahuasca. That's like taking a small amount of acid. I mean, I guess you could find a milligram really amount in which. I'm sure you have a very mild. Milk and honey, what you put on afterward. That's right, that may be. Really interesting. Compare this with Joshua 5:1:12. Well, we're about to be upcoming. Oh, well, like, this is all mild. What is weird is we're sitting here and talking shit about foreskins and everything. And yet, like, the next chapter, like, it's just a passage or two, and it's, like, very, I hate to use the term, like, whitewash, but it's hard to feel, like, sympathetic to a genocide when it's, like, a single line, when it's, like, and then everyone died. And yet, you do have to sit there to a small extent and be like, holy shit, he just killed everyone. Like everyone. And I had to reread it, and I know, so I guess spoiler warning, but like I thought it was like, oh yeah, and then they take the women and the children, of course. And then I like did a double take, and I'm like, you didn't. Really? And what did the livestock do? Okay, cool. That's cool. But speaking of someone amazing who could probably explain this even better, we are going to bring in the one and only Pat Lowinger. Right. What is up, Pat?
Hey, I can only stay for a couple minutes because I got a really early flight tomorrow. But one of my messages got lost, I guess, because I'm on my laptop. So, hey, thanks for having me. Just real quick, what's contained here in Joshua, if you compare it to the other texts talking about circumcision, is, again, this is the general consensus of scholarship, is that for a time during a period after Ramses is defeated, or before he's defeated, but during the period of basically the Hittites fighting and taking over some of Syria, Palestine, the Israelites were able to gain some autonomy during the New Kingdom period of Egypt, where Egypt was the ruling dynasty. So for a time, Egypt, which in likelihood forced circumcision upon the nobles, who then forced it upon the Israelites of the region. Because remember, they had been practicing it since 3500, 3200 BCE in Egypt. And it was a way to kind of show cultural dominance and loyalty, by the way, on the way of the Israelites towards Egypt. But for a period, Israel's free because of their alliance with the Hittites. I'm giving a real short version of this history real quick. We think that period may have been anywhere from like 20 to 70 years.
I'm sorry, can you say that name again?
the Hittites.
Okay, just making sure.
And so it looks like this part of the text in Joshua actually shows that for a while the practice was abandoned, because it's talking about Egypt again, being removed from power, and that for a time Israelites during the wilderness period aren't practicing circumcision. But all good things must come to an end. Although Ramses is defeated at Kadesh, and the Hittites are largely victorious, they only control regions in the north. So the regions of Israel fall back under control and dominance of the Egyptians, which reinstitute the practice. And this is probably some reference to that now we have to reinstitute circumcision again, because it's specifically talking about the warrior age males, by the way. And Egypt, by this time of the New Kingdom period, the late Bronze Age, had transferred the practice to infants and very young boys, which is what we see in Hebraic culture of the time period. So that's just what I want to jump in and let you know, that like if you actually study circumcision as represented in the Bible, there's these major shifts and paradigms from Abraham forward, and this is one of them that may actually show some historical reliability, that there was a period during prior to the Battle of Kadesh where for a while Israel was no longer under the control or dominance of Egypt, and they abandoned the practice. And then guess what? Ultimately, their coup was unsuccessful, and Egypt reconquered them under Ramses, and they had to reaffirm the practice.
Because they were doing this supposedly since Abraham continuously, and then all of a sudden they have to start circumcising everybody again. Right.
And this may be, for a while they had to do an apologetic to explain why for a while they didn't do it. And then all of a sudden, remember, it's always referencing Egypt though, but they're saying they're doing it to celebrate that they are victorious over Egypt, and understand that Egypt ruled the region during this period, for 5 centuries. So, all right, that's just it. Thanks for having me on. Just want to talk about it.
Wait, I have a final question.
Sure.
Is it good to be the king?
It's always good to be the king, unless you're like a few days old and they're gonna cut your junk off because you're an Egyptian pharaoh.
Have a good flight, Pat.
All right, you guys take care.
Be well, Pat. I hope it's an amazing flight and journey.
Yeah, well, I get to go hang out with a bunch of egghead archaeologists and anthropologists this weekend, so it's awesome. It's the annual meeting of the Archaeological Institute of America. So
I hope you have a fantastic time, and come back and tell us about it.
I will. Take care.
Bye.
Thanks.
And all right, we are marching.
Learn some actual history there. Hey,
it's always nice to have actual academics on, because, like I said, a lot of young Earth creationist circles, you see who they revere, and it is just nice to actually have people that know what they're talking about. But yeah, let's get back to James. We have so many foreskins to get rid of. And that's the apparently the non-violent part of the 2 chapters we're going to read. All right. And their children of the corn, whom he raised up in their stead, because he didn't want to be a baby mama, didn't want to be a baby dada. Then them Joshua circumcised. He circumcised them all. Circumcised them all. For they were uncircumcised, you filthy, filthy heathens, because they had not circumcised them by the way. We get it. That's a little redundant. You said you really...
They're not circumcised because they haven't been circumcised, by the way. Thanks.
I was going to say, yeah, they use the word circumcised 3 times in a sentence. That is actually impressive. I know. All right. And it came to pass, like a kidney stone, keep on drinking water, when they had done circumcising all of the people, when they had inspected all of the penises, that they abode in their places in the camp. Oh, I get what kind of... Yeah, no, I get what's going on here. Listen, it's a bunch of men. They got to go around checking out all the guys' junks. I get it. You're trying to make an excuse. You're going to circumcise men.
Jesse Lee Peterson. going by just to make sure everybody.
Just
all
fine,
the-
exactly. Yo, can I not? And I wasn't gonna bring up Hake because I love. He sent in like a super chat, just sending love, like when I was modding. But like, he is part of that group. Who? How could you seriously have an anti-gay all men's fraternity? I don't know how else to
with
better
Jesse
say
Lee
that.
Peterson.
With Jesse Lee Peterson. It's just gonna be
It's a
a bunch
ministry.
of guys
It's a
hanging
ministry
out, learning how to be
ministry
men.
for God.
For God, you get to be masculine. Use your mouth. All right, we circumcised all the schmizzles that they abode in their places, the camp, till they were whole. They were like fully whole. We made our own holes, if you get what I'm saying. And with that, we're going to move on to Joshua meeting the captain of God's army. And of course, we just have to, just one single category. We got to keep on laughing. It's just very simple. When you think of God, when you think of the Bible, you think of the humor. I do when I was in Hebrew school, and James was in similar. And the Lord Bob, this lovely lady, said unto Joshua, rib Joshua, ugh, this day, not any other day, like this is like kind of special to me, have I rolled a really good joint away the reproach of New York from of you. Thanks. Whereof the name of this place is called Giggle. A giggle is called a giggle unto this day. And the children of Israel.
Shmishmo.
Listen, I get stuck. I don't know. My brain stops. I can't help
It
it.
happens.
Encamped in Giggle and kept the Passover, a super important holiday, because we got to smear that lamb's blood
Definitely.
over the hashtag God loves doesn't kill us, our firstborn sons. I'm sorry. Not all of us, just the firstborn sons. He's definitely a good guy. On the 14th day, you got 2 weeks of the month at the even in the plains of Jericho.
Chris Jericho? Yeah.
Yes, at Chris Jericho, yes. And they did eat all of the old corn because it was kind of going stale.
Gotta eat it before it goes bad.
Yes, exactly. You got what do they call it in fucking retail?
Rotate.
Facing?
First in, first out.
Yeah, first and first. Yeah, exactly. On the morrow after the Passover, that big old lamb's blood, you will have unleavened cakes. If I see that cake rise, I can kill someone.
So little baking soda, maybe just a little bit, a little.
So help me, your God, I will tackle you if that bread rises. And parched corn. I'm corn, and I could really. No.
No drink for you, corn.
No drink for you. In the self-same day. Very self-same day. Okay, enough of what we've been saying. What were they saying? God said to Joshua, today I rolled away the reproach of Egypt from of you. Oh my God, is he going to stop talking about Egypt for once in life?
No.
Let it go, God, or turn the minivan around. Do one or the other. And the Manischewitz wine ceased on the morrow. Oh, just go buy another 6-pack or buy fucking box wine or something. After they had eaten of the old corn and, listen, you got to smoke a lot of whatever the burning bush was talking to us to actually make that corn taste good. Neither had the children of the corn of Israel
Shmishmo.
or the Manischewitz anymore. But they did eat. Don't eat the fruit. You eat the fruit, bad things happen. Unless you're eating this fruit. Eat the fruit of the land of the. Can I not that year? At this time, the Israelites stopped eating manna and began to eat the fruit at the land of Canaan. Cool. Just have some nami fruit. Good. We're just gonna go over. I'm sure they won't mind. Canaanite fruit. Yo, those Canaanite ladies, though. Just saying. And it came to pass, like a kidney stone. Keep drinking that water. When Chris Jericho was by Chris Jericho, that he lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, oh my, there stood a tall, dark, and handsome man over against him. Oh my. Okay. Hold on. Let me get a glass of wine. Okay, tell me more.
You've had enough Manischewitz, Amy. Come on now.
Damn it! But he's taking his shirt off, I think. He stood a man over against him with his sword drawn, if you get what I mean, in his hand.
We're gonna play swords.
Oh, we should see if we can have them touch.
Amy's got it in her hand.
And Joshua, went up onto her and said unto her, Art thou for us, for our adversaries? And when I mean she this time, I am very specifically saying a trans woman. I don't know why, but just to piss off just to piss off fundamentalists, because I actually love trans. But I also love biological people. That's the problem with being bisexual, pansexual. We just love you all. We can't choose. They always say it's greedy, but it's not greedy when you're sharing. It's actually...
It's a buffet.
Exactly. Well, I like to think that we're just like a good mixer. You just add us onto your favorite cracker or put us into a mix and just add water and we get the party popping. Yes. What were we talking about? Men were taking their shirts off and swords were showing or something. And he said, nay. That's kind of gay, but I like it that way. But as captain, hoy, 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 of the host of the most...
This is the captain you're talking with.
Oh, why is it? The host of the Lord Bob, this lovely lady, am now I come. Finally. And Joshua, very ribbed Joshua, fell on his face to the earth and did worship and said unto him, Ma-diddy-diddy-dum-diddy-day, what saith my Lord unto his... I'm sorry, I got slavery stuck in my throat again. I always find it creepy when they call themselves servants of God, slaves of God.
That's always say slave to Christ, yeah.
And they mean it.
They see it
in
as
such this happy
beautiful.
way. It is. It falls under in some ways, the more sadistic and terrible. Sometimes it gets turned into this beautiful thing, just like crosses around their neck. I find horrific and like a heart. It would be like wearing a nut. It's like your favorite person. It'd be like if you were a fan of Martin Luther King Jr. and you had like a gun around your neck.
Specifically the gun that was used to shoot Martin Luther King.
And it's like
memorializing
I doubt that's would be what he would want around your neck. But okay. But sure. Yes, let's finish up the chapter. We're hoisting ourselves up, mateys. We're falling on our faces.
For Jesus, though.
For Jesus. And we're having some worship. And the captain. Oh, you better be a captain.
Oh, captain, my captain.
Exactly. Sail my ship, matey. Of the Lord Barbaretta's host, host of Applebee's, said unto Joshua, loose thy shoe from thy foot. I was reading it in slow motion because I'm like, that's not what it's saying. No, it's like, loose thy this shoe from thy foot. I kind of have a thing for feet. That's okay. We're not gonna. For the place
Like
wherein
Jesus.
thou standest, exactly.
Just wants to wash
Totally
off
had
his
a
feet.
fetish. Exactly. Not there's anything wrong with that. Is holy, and
And he's not
Joshua.
going to kink shame
did so.
anybody.
I'm not going to kink shame anybody. I'm just going to get people to get on their knees, or I'll get on my knees. One or the other. We'll figure out something to work. But yes, that concludes Joshua chapter 5. James, the wisdom that just pours through.
Oh, it's amazing, isn't it? It's
But with that, we're going to move on to the real, the entree, because that
The real
was the appetizer. Yes. We are going to move on to the book of Joshua, chapter 6. Once again, this is one of these chapters that is like hard to take into context until you read it, and then you're like, oh, that's really up. I wanted to say this at the beginning. I forgot. I'm going to start adding this into the tagline. All of our episodes of our Skeptic Bible Study are organized via keywords, SEO, in ways that tie it to whatever the subject is. So, example, this is tied to Joshua chapter 5 and Joshua chapter 6. That's right. Foreskins was the appetizer. That's right. Very specifically. And yeah, it would be like a bullet pendant. How ridiculous would that be? Look, we're not shaming anybody for having, I guess, if you're into guns or into bullets or into random Roman torture devices, it just seems odd that would be the symbol that you take.
right.
But yes, let's move into the entree. We don't want to fill up on foreskins. That's your first mistake. And we're going to move into hashtag the loving God plans the Chris Jericho Massacre.
Not like the Chris Benoit massacre. That was real. That was very horrible. But but coincidentally, I have to point out that he still did put Bibles by the bodies of his family after he killed them. So I guess we know what was on his mind when he was going crazy that last day of him before everything went bad.
And everything is about to get really, really bad. We only have one little note here, little category. God plans the Jericho Massacre, and it's just a whole bunch of laughs. Because once again, the fact that God even needs to plan this is kind of
Good night, Pat.
silly. Good night, Pat. There was someone else we needed to tuck into bed, and I forget who. Pat and Sage. Good night, Sage. She's probably already tucked into bed. We hope we are either tucking you in, waking you up, whether you are out there cooking or painting the house or just listening.
You're
We
ultimated.
hope you're having a good time.
God's giving you a blowjob right now.
Yeah, getting a big one from God.
So
But let's just get to the horribleness that is God plans the Jericho Massacre. Now, Chris Jericho was straightly shut up. Like, really? Because of the children of Israel,
Ishmael.
none went out and none came in. Kind of
good night,
rude,
Sinister, if
actually.
you're still there.
Oh, night Sinister. Night, if yes. As well as welcome anyone who's coming with. I saw Wes say he made like a tactless joke. Oh no, my good sir. That is the kind of stuff we Callum's Seafood Restaurant and Circumcision Clinic, where yesterday's cut, it's today's calamari. If I do say so myself.
Chewy.
And I do. But yes, we're going back into a massacre, as you do. And the
Still
Lord...
reminds me of the Dark Matter 2525 episode where the kids were shooting foreskins at everybody like rubber bands.
I thought you were going to say for 1 second. I remember when I was a young god and getting my believers to get them to cut off their foreskins.
I guess it's something they all do, you know.
It
Rookie
is.
God.
Well, I honestly, and this is another thing that creationists, I don't know what is it about like a joke, not joke, because this would, if it was a creator god, this really would be like a rookie god. Like he does every mistake possible. I don't know how he shit up so much, but I don't know how he lets humans shit his shit up so much.
He doesn't. It's just we're not able to understand his true plan. It just looks like he's fucking shit up.
But I also have to ask.
It's
I know
all
Pat
under
is going
control.
to bed. Pat, if you can hear me, I should have asked. Is there any reason what is about to happen happens? Because, like, once again, spoiler alert. Like it's like a passage or two of the people just trembling in fear of the Israelites, and then they get a big thank you note from God. And to me, that is a horror story. What did they get to deserve this shit? Holy moly!
I'm just gonna say it probably never happened. It was probably
Well, yes.
just.
That is the absolute silver lining: is that this did not happen. This is not a real event, and so, yay.
Just them writing about how much ass they kick probably later on, like, you know, to make them think later that, oh, we just have to keep worshiping Yahweh and then we'll be victorious like they used to be. Like, look here, it says, oh, they destroyed the whole city.
Oh, Captain Red Bull, I saw that a movie where parents saved foreskin in a baby book. It was called Passion of the Christ. No, I don't think so. But Sending Love. We are moving along into I feel like it's a wholesome genocide. It's like a genocide for the whole family. Literally.
It really is like a G-rated genocide. Like bring
exactly.
The kids, bring the, you know.
Yes, G is in God. God-rated genocide. And the Lord Barbaretta said on to really rip Joshua, see, God, he's got to like push it in. I have given into thine hand Jericho. Kind of did. You're going to make them like do the horrible part. I don't know why. And the king thereof, and the mighty men of valor, who you're all going to slaughter.
Oh,
Fantastic.
Yeah, we're going to kill them off.
Great. I'm glad they have valor. Not going to do them any good. And ye. Where's Skelly? And ye shall encompass the city, all ye men of war, and go roundabouts, because it's going to be really annoying when we make roundabouts. The city once. Thus shalt
make America like the European countryside.
They're really useful. They're just annoying as shit. Thou shalt, which I know is it's kind of almost a contradictory statement, but nonetheless. Thus shalt thou do 6 days, because 7 days is kind of a little bit, it's a little bit over. It's a little bit extra. And 7 priests, but not 7 priests. We want 6 days, 7 priests. Well, they shall bear the Ark of the Covenant. We'll have whips and they'll punch Nazis and everything. 7 trumpets of ram's horns. Do, 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 do. And the 7th
day. Can I blow the trumpet?
Oh, you can blow that trumpet any day, baby. Ye shall encompass the city 7 times, like you're Hannibal Lecter or Attila the Hun or something going on. Just really weird.
We have to walk around the whole fucking city 7 times, really? I mean,
I just don't get this because it's basically just taunting the people in the city that they're gonna die. Cool. Yeah. Listen. No one pumps out. No one exports fundies like we do. Woo, 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 woo. Oh,
No one outfundies
Shit.
Amy.
listen. I will hug the shit out of an American flag and a Bible. That's how you know I love the country. I will walk over all, a minority's freedoms. They're stupid, but I'll hug a flag and a book. I won't read the book. I won't understand what the flag represents, but I'll hug it. It'll be cool. Anyway, trumpets. Everyone loves trumpets. I almost put trumpets as the title card to this episode because this dude talks about trumpets a ridiculous amount for the next few passages. But yeah, I couldn't, skimp on the genocide. Who doesn't? It shall come to pass. We've been drinking a lot of water now. It's starting to flow. And when they make a long blast with the ram's horn, and when ye hear the sound of the trumpet, ding, 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 all the people shall shout. No, I mean very specifically, they use shout the detergent. With a great shout, it gets stain sticks. It gets it out of everything. And the wall of the city shall fall down flat, because we're the good guys. James, you know how we know we're the good guys? The city is about to be destroyed and their walls are about to fall flat. And the people shall ascend up every man straight before. And the people shall ascend up. They're going to take every straight man before him, and we're going to take them to Chippendales and see if we can't convince them otherwise. Huh.
Amy, it says man straight, not straight man.
Oh, damn it. Man straight.
I'm
right.
sorry.
Right. I gotta fuck us.
Men straight, man straight, the male period thing.
Exactly.
You're man
once again, I am. I'm manstrating all over. And Joshua, Rip Joshua, the son of none. Very specifically, he was the son of nobody. Who? None. Oh, none? Noon.
Anon.
Anon. Night, Wes.
Good night, Wes.
What's it like being the rabbi who does circumcision? Well, the pay is awful, but you get to keep the tips. Oh, I see what you did there. And they felt what you did there, which is the edge of their penises. They're going to be gone. Anyway, nightless. Boom, boom, boom. We like to think of ourselves, I forget who called this us. We're the late shift. And so we don't mind tucking people in, as well as waking people up. Send love to Scott, amazing human, as well as Answers in Atheism. And, you should go check out youtube.com/Answers in Atheism. While we're just shouting out people, you should go check out the youtube.com/The Atheist Network group. Amazing people, Oz and Jena and everyone out over there. All right, we're shouting. Hey, yo, shout. Hey, yo. All right.
Loud shout, yeah.
The son of none called the priest class. They were 62 in the RPG and said unto them, take the Ark of the Covenant, punch as many Nazis as you can, and let 7 priests have bare hands. They'll be fuzzy and furry. And 7 trumpets of ram's horns, ba-dum-bum, before the Ark of the Lord, Barbaretta. This lovely lady. She's so beautiful. Joshua said unto the people, hey, now shout, for the Lord have given you the city. Did he, though? I feel like the people kind of own the city, but I guess if you're going to kill everybody, sure.
Yes, if you're going to be God, and you just say everything is yours, right?
Yes. Atheist Network Group. That's right, baby. Connecting Atheists. Tangang, yo. And he said on to the people, pass it on. We're playing Whisper Down the Lane. Did you know that a giraffe wears purple socks flying through the train and trolley on the convertible? And compass the city and let him in the arm pass on before the Ark of the Lord Barbaretta. All right, what have we been reading a little bit? You and your soldiers. Okay, see, I've given you Jericho. You and your soldiers will walk around the city once a day for 6 days. 7 priests will go before the ark, and with 7 trumpets of ram's horns on the 7th day, walk around the city 7 times while the priests blow their trumpets. The priests will blow a long blast with the ram's horns, and all the people will shout, and the walls will fall down. Basically, science. Joshua called the priests and said to them, select 7 priests with 7 trumpets of ram's horns to walk in front of the ark of the covenant. To the people, Joshua said, walk around the city with soldiers in front of the ark. All right, that makes sense, definitely.
Get this to the Pentagon, right?
Exactly, all the wisdom. Oh, do we have a kitty? We do. Ew.
Is that Buttercup?
That might be. I have to tuck this over here. All of the sounds, those sound effects were made to happen. Those were supposed to.
Okay, don't worry.
We have a little, and she looks sleepy. She's probably been running around with the other kitten. Aww. And she was actually, past week or so ago, she actually came down with a fever, and we had to take her. We had already were taking her due to get her, I think her shots or something. We took her in, and she had 105 fever.
Really?
And that is not good, because cats, even though they have a higher temperature, they have about 101, 102 temperature. So she was still 3 degrees higher than normal. Yes, and so they started her on amoxicillin, and within a day, she was basically running around and being her normal self again. The exact same amoxicillin, same penicillin that the humans take. Little baby girl. All right, enough petting kittens, though I could probably do that for the entire stream. Man, that's right, not the entire stream. But she probably is like, but mommy, I want to sleep.
She'll sleep for like half an hour, and then she'll be ready to go all night.
Indeed. Just got to recharge that battery. Well, and the funny thing is, kitties are most active at dusk and dawn. And so right now, she's taking a kit nip. And all right, let's get back to something a little bit less cuddly. Yes, a little bit. Back to the genocide, of course. All right. So God is promising the newly circumcised men Jericho. I don't think the people in Jericho will agree with this, but they're probably not going to get much of a choice.
I don't think God's going to care too much what they think.
Yeah, indeed. And the armed men. Wow, it even says armed men in the Bible. That is so funny. Like, you often hear, like, on the fundies and super, reactionary radio, and it was just a bunch of thugs. Oh, like a bunch of armed men? And the armed men went before the priests that blew them. Oh, I'm sorry, that blew the trumpets. And the rewards program was great. It came after the Ark of the
Not
Covenant.
just a bunch of thugs, a bunch of taskmasters going around just taking whatever they want.
No, that would be terrible. And what's in the Bible? Of the Ark, of the priests that were level 60 going on and blowing with the trumpets. And Joshua had commanded the people, saying,
Whip it out?
Whip it out, ye shall not shout, nor make any noise with your voice. Neither shall any word proceed out of your mouth, if you get what I mean. You can put that to much better use. Until the day I bid you shout. Then ye shall, hey now, shout, hey now. Yeah, we're going to kill everybody. So the Ark of the Covenant.
Don't forget to say you will.
Hey, I will. The Lord Bob, this lovely lady, compassed the city.
Did she now?
Yes. She's just going to, her whole tuchus is going to encompass the city. Once again, when you pray to that ass, this is you get certain benefits. Going about it once. So they came. It took them watching a few videos and rubbing hard, but they came into the camp. Oh, as I hit the microphone. And lodged in the camp. Oh, fantastic. Oh, my lordy, sending so much love. And oh my, hold on, before I show that up on screen, hold on.
Yeah, that's a special one for you, Amy.
That is. I feel like, okay, here we go. I got something close. Not so. A super fantastic $5 super chat from Atheist Jr. Woo! What is up, AJ? Sending love
see AJ.
and that's weird. There's like something plump and big and juicy. It's the kind of thing you just want to fit in your mouth. I don't know. It's hard to make it out, but I feel like I'm just savoring thinking about it. So thank you so very much, AJ.
Things that they can't keep in the house with Amy. Well, at least not if you plan on eating them. You can't keep them around Amy.
And I hate to say that I'm a little bit of a size queen, but
Yeah.
But sending so much love to AJ. You should all be checking out youtube.com/
I'm sure they already are.
Junior. They probably already are.
He's
But if you're
racking up
not,
the head count over there.
he did just celebrate 7K. Sending love to AJ. Woo-woo. Taking it to Ken Hoven's task, as well as many other apologists out there. Couldn't send as much love as we can.
Hopefully
right back.
He'll be
At
able
a
to come
good
back
time.
next week, next Wednesday for the slavery debate. Love to hopefully Atheist Junior get to watch that.
That's true.
Let us know what you think.
I'm excited for that. Because that debate topic always just makes them sound ridiculous. There is no Christian more ridiculous than when they're defending slavery. But sending love,
I was gonna say
AJ.
there's no Christian more ridiculous than praise.
Well, that too.
He's
No.
up there.
He's up there. All of the apologists, they just all have the same shtick. I mean, I'm sure they look at us and they go, "You atheists, all you guys have is ration evidence and empiricism."
Because I know they're not going to watch this. I could say, they're always talking about like debt slavery, Amy. So can you imagine like your, of course, your parents and you're a little late on the mortgage, so you go to your kids and say, "Okay, girls, look nice and pretty, put on something cute, because Joshua from Citibank is going to come over and maybe we can make a deal for one of you guys, so we won't have to pay all the mortgage that we owe."
From the objectively moral God,
right?
Selling your children into slavery and marriage.
Mr. Joshua Herbel, would you look at my daughters? Would you like to make a deal for one of them? Yeah.
But sending one last love to AJ. You should all be checking out his amazing channel and content. And sending love to James Wolfe. Do you call that an eggplant or an aubergine? Aubergine? The fact that I just fucked that up should tell you. I call it is an eggplant. I only know that because that was what the doctor told me. It was on the x-ray. And so you learn things. This is how you learn. But hey.
Were they able to
I don't
get
know.
it out?
They shouldn't even sell KY lotion in the grocery store if they don't want me to try shit.
least not
Hey.
near the produce department, right?
Exactly. Oh my goodness.
If I was the
Wait.
manager there, I'd have a special display right next to it just for Amy.
Well, now it just makes me want to have like an entire phallic section in the grocery store, and then just nothing but lube and condoms right next to it. Yes, and maybe chocolate, lube, everything you need for a good night, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe a glass of wine.
Some wine, yeah, some Manischewitz.
Relax, play some music, let the object find you, really. What are we talking about?
Come on, Ultimated. Shove that eggplant up God's ass. It's infinite size. He'll be all right with it.
It's only painful at the beginning. Shout. We were on 11, maybe? Who knows? Let's go to 11. Wait, do we hear noises with our voices?
11 or 12. Close enough, though.
Close enough. So, the Ark of the Covenant, we're punching Nazis of the Lord Bob, compassed the city. Okay, we did. Circled the city. We did read that. Okay. Joshua Shmashua rose early in the morning, and the priest took up, level 60 priest took up the Ark of the Covenant of the Lord Bob. And 7 priests bearing 7 trumpets of ram's horn before the Ark of the Lord Bob went on continuously, and they just kept on blowing their trumpets. They live in an apartment complex. It is 3 a.m. Be considerate, but whatever. And the thugs, once again, went before them. But the rewards program, okay, I don't know if they're saying or they reused the rewards program again. Who knows? The rewards program came after the Ark of the Lord Bob. The priests going on and blowing on and on. And you were like, how much cocaine do they have?
Apparently quite a lot.
Quite a lot.
Well, that reminds me of Johnny Depp's thing from this thing. And they're like, this is a picture of you, and that's cocaine. He's like, yes, that's cocaine, yes. And he's like, and that is a lot of marijuana. He's like, yeah, that is a lot of marijuana.
Or as the technical term calls it, the right amount of marijuana.
That's a lot of marijuana, yeah.
And it came to pass. We've been drinking so much water. We finally got into the 7th day that they rose early about the dawning of the day. Dawn, if this is Zelda, dawn of the first day, dawn of the last day. And compassed the city after the same manner 7 frickin' times. What's up, Big Bad Mama? Boom, boom, boom.
Hey, praise. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, Big Bad Mama.
Nemesis.
That's just so funny since somebody tagged you as praised, like the most ridiculous naming in the world.
And they compassed the city after the same manner 7 fucking times. Not once, not twice. 7 fucking times. Only on that day they compassed.
We have to carry this big fucking heavy ark around that damn city 7 fucking times, God. Christ on a cock.
I know. And it came to pass at the 7th time, not the 6th, not the 5th, but the 7th time, when the priest blew all of the other guys before them and the trumpets, Joshua said unto the people, for the people, by the people, shout! Hey, now shout! For the Lord Bob, this lovely lady with her newly appendages have given you to the city.
Oh, hey,
What
Dr.
is
Tapiocaweasel.
Boom, 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 Dr. Tapiocaweasel. My dinner is burning my hand, y'all. That's me with a Hot Pocket. I literally did burn my hand a week or so ago. Good times. Yeah, I love me some pepperoni Hot Pockets. Oh, that's because you probably like food. Like you're a fan of food, right? And so Hot Pockets may not be for you.
Yeah.
But I eat them. I'll tell you what, I sure do eat them. So
You're a picky eater. You don't. Yeah.
I am an extremely picky eater, but I somehow have found multiple ways to eat pizza. Like I will eat Elio's pizza, lean cuisine pizzas, not because I'm on a diet, but because they taste good, and then Hot Pockets. That's like 3 meals right there. I can have pizza 3 different ways.
This reminds me of the time, the famous debate, Ken Hovind versus T-Jump debate, where for T-Jump's opener, he literally played somebody else's video, and then he just sat there and ate pizza on camera. While somebody else's video is playing for Ken Hovind.
That's funny.
Is sitting there pounding down that pizza. He had like 3 pieces. Yeah, he is pounding that pizza.
That was me
down.
today. That'll also be me tonight, later on tonight, because it was my mother's birthday, and we went to.
Happy birthday, Mrs. Newman.
Thank you. Exactly. And we went to an Italian restaurant where they had oven-baked pizza. Not oven. Wood stove, whatever.
Wood
like
fire.
Wood fire.
Pizza, yeah.
And it was amazing. I got pepperoni bacon pizza, and it was not a mistake.
Extra bacon.
Whew. I love Italian restaurants because as picky as an eater as I am, I had a 3-course meal. So I love that I can get the bread. I should have had a salad yesterday. I could have had a salad.
Okay with pasta, right? Pasta you eat.
I am warming up to pasta.
Really? It's new for you?
It's kind of new for me.
Yeah, kids love pasta. I would have figured that's usually something because people.
Yes, not just because I like to wear schoolgirl outfits, but because I'm a picky eater. Yes. Let's go back to the real meat of the episode. I mean, if you are reading the title, you might have think that we were just tickling your balls, rubbing your tatas, but we're not. Dada. Oh my God. I in all of my long years, and I think, of being within the scene of BDSM, I've never heard someone call it dada.
You've never heard that? No.
Never.
Any type of sexual thing. Never.
Then again,
the thing is, I was trying to break him with that. I thought if he's a troll, that's gonna break him. Like, what do you call God when you're having sex with him? And
you got the best answer ever, right?
Yeah, it's like you say. It's almost like he's working with you at that point. Like he is like saying like the most ridiculous thing imaginable. He's like setting you up. It's like, how can this be?
You couldn't have asked for a more ridiculous statement. And yet, once again, we don't make him do 9-hour streams on his own to his 100 subscribers.
No.
Once again, not hating on anyone who has 100 subscribers. You have to start somewhere. I very specifically help produce people now that are trying to gain and get past that benchmark. The funny thing is just doing that dedicated, and he does it multiple times a week, that long. Just the dedication to being a Poe to
that would
for
be
so
amazing.
Few people. Oh, it would be. Sorry, I'm just thinking like it's gonna say Dada on his grave or something. I don't know. Send in love. Lots of let me see that sarcasm. Dreams of others. What dreams? I'm a celeb, sir, and then no other dreams, no other dreamers. It's true. It's all I like to say when solipsists throw a party, everyone's invited. Titan says, solipsists of the world, unite! But yes, I think this is funny. There's really only one person that gets to live. Let's get to it. Let's get to the horribleness. We have been holding it off. We've been holding at bay the genocide as long as possible. The Jericho Massacre. And oh boy, is it a smorgasbord of titles. We have this first category right here with violence. And, you know, clearly, I mean, you can't get more violent than a massacre. But then you also have this category here where it's actually just, again, we are being judgmental, unjust. And, I mean, James, who else is going to judge us except for a God?
Only God can judge me.
Exactly. But then we also have this category here where we actually have God being prejudiced. Oh, and who doesn't love a little bit of prejudice? You gotta have your in tribe and your out tribe.
Sucks to be them. Good to be us.
Oh, this is a rare category. We don't get this a lot. But we actually have family values over here. That's right.
Because families are important to God. You know, they really are. God really cares about families, about the next generation, children.
Exactly. James, you have no idea. Yeah, it's a family values type of book.
Families matter to God.
Exactly. No matter who that family is.
Sure.
But yes, we then have this last category here, laughter, of course, which we've been having over and over. We like laughing in the Bible. The Bible is known for being kicks and giggles. You basically fall out of your chair. And so with that, oh, that's weird. James, I hate to do this. I hate to even bring it up.
What are you doing to me?
There may be a contradiction in the Bible.
You haven't seen any yet?
Yeah, that can't be.
It'd be really
that has to be a contradiction.
Happening now.
Yeah, we would have seen a contradiction before.
I mean, Ken Hovind's read that book for over 50 years, and he's never found one. So if there's a problem, Amy, that problem must be with us.
Exactly. It's probably more of an us problem. But yes, with that, let's bring us into the end game. The Jericho Massacre. Oh my God. They're going to murder Chris Jericho? And we have all of these categories to bring us to number 17. And the city will be a poppin'. Oh, wait, no. No, it's going to be accursed. Okay, that's not as good as I thought. And the city shall be accursed. Even it. And all that are therein to the Lord Barbaretta. Only Rahab, my Bahab, my B, the harlot shall live. Now look, I have conflicted feelings, okay? Yes. I have like kind of, it's gotta be hoes before bros. And so I gotta stick by my other hoes. However, it just feels it's kind of a hollow win, James. A hollow win to have only the harlot stand alone. I'm glad she's gonna live, but yeah. Anyway, Rahab the Bahab, the harlot, shall live. She and all that are with her in the house, even her Xbox, because she hid the messengers that we sent. Oh, lovely. So she sent spies. So we're going to live Rahab the Bahab live. Thank you.
Yay.
Yay! She's gonna, because of her, the entire city is gonna fall and everyone is gonna die. Yay! And ye, in any wise, keep yourself from the accursed thing. Yo, she's got an STD, I think. No. She used protection. She's a good girl. Lest ye make yourselves accursed when ye take that accursed thing. Oh my God, we really are getting into territory. And make the camp of Israel
Shmishmail.
a curse and trouble it. It's gonna be like really troubling. You're not even gonna remember how troubling it is. That's how troubling. Oh my. But it's okay, James. You know why? You know what makes this
Why?
more?
What happened?
Because they're going to be able to keep all of the money. Yeah. I felt that. Okay. Yes. They're going to be able to pillage.
I thought that you were going to say, get off my lawn.
Close. No, they're going to actually, all the silver and the gold and vessels of brass and iron are constricted onto the Lord. They shall come into the treasury. Damn it! Onto the Lord Bob.
Oh, that's nice.
If you are a conspiracy theorist, something about the Federal Reserve. I don't know. I heard a lot.
Jekyll Island, yeah. Alex Stein. Rose
Federal Reserve. Hold on. Won't get me. I'll take that one.
Audit the Fed. And the
all
Fed.
right. That's right. Take them.
Alex Jones.
Turning the frogs gay.
And the Fed.
I said I wouldn't talk about it twice, but it was just so funny watching Alex Jones be out crazy. Well, actually, Hitler was the bad guy, and Stalin, and Mao, and then the other guys that we hate, right? We hate those guys. I will tell them.
Actually, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Actually, I mean, he might have been a little misunderstood.
He might have been a misunderstood. Yes, exactly. After he made love to the gun, it was extremely hard to understand what he was saying. But Brazil. Okay, whatever, conspiracy theorists. Great shout. Hey. That wall fell down. Oh, let's not skip this. No, because this is genocide. So, when the people shouted, when the priests blew each other, they got so much energy that the trumpets actually went out, and it came to pass. All of the kidney stones finally flew out, and the people heard the sound of all of them coming through the trumpet, and the people shouted with a great cheer. I love how it's literally destroyed by a trumpet. Like, this is what we're supposed to believe. Not only is it horrible, but can we just take a minute to appreciate that the walls of a city are destroyed by the sound waves of a trumpet? Cool. No, makes sense. And the people shouted with a great shout. Really, really loud. Their neighbors were like, can you lock up? That the wall fell down flat. Boom. Like steel beam would do if you had a dynamic load on it after a plane hits it. So that the people went up into the city, every man straight before him, but by, if you get them by themselves. And they took the city. Oh my. They took the city really, really hard. They took it, they took the city as in like out of town, like you were all being crazy and getting drunk. You took the city as in everyone loved you and was shouting your name. Oh no, you literally took the city as in like violence. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. And they utterly destroyed all that was in the city. Both I do. I want to preface this because once again, it's hard to marinate in how bad of a sentence this is. This is a horrible sentence. This is my cereal face. It is hard to really appreciate how horrible of a sentence that this is. And it really is, as James pointed out, one of the reasons that I can sleep at night is knowing that this did not happen, that this was not true. That this is a fictional story. All right, unserial face. And they utterly destroyed all that was in the city, both man and woman. Notice we got both of them, just young and old, and ox randomly, and sheep and ass. So all of the livestock. Okay, in case you didn't, if you have an apologetic trying to say, well, they let so and so. Okay, once again, they utterly destroyed all that was in the city, man and woman, young and old, and then all the livestock with the edge of a sword. If that's not a genocide, then I don't know what is, ladies and gents. Pretty darn evil. Once again, I'll keep on saying it, #LovingGod. I'm sure there was a good reason for it, though. I'm sure they were corrupt or evil or something that God's going to say, even though he kind of looks really evil. Really, really evil. But Joshua, the really ripped prophet, had said on to the two men that had spied, I spy, onto the country, go into that whore's house, and bring out thence thy woman, and all that she hath, and ye swear unto her. Go get her shit. She probably has jewelry and perfumes and makeup. And the young men that were I spies went in and brought out Rehab. And they're like, okay, we kind of like had to get a truck. Is that a good thing? And her father and her mother and her brethren. It's like another Noah thing. And I love this. Like, is there an apologetic out there that is like, I can only imagine. Well, I mean, look, she let Rehab's family out. The whole family, just like Noah. Makes the whole story good. Makes the whole story moral. Yay! No, it actually makes it really fucked up. But hey, what do we know? We are just agents with an actual morality and exist, unlike this God. Good times. And brought out Rehab and the father, and all that they had and brought out, and all right, we're in camps. And they, and everything was good until the Fire Nation attacked. And they burnt the city with fire. That's what you do when you are a firebender. And all that was therein. Only that sweet, sweet cash, y'all. Get me that silver and that gold and the vessels of brass and iron. Anything that looks fancy, put it on me. They put it into the Federal Reserve of the house. It's going in. You're going to audit them. Of the Lord Bob, of Barbaretta. And all right, there's only 3 more passages left, which actually means we are going to come up to the end of our Bible study. At least the 2 chapters will go for a short open mic, but it will be at a half an hour. We are heading out. So I think James has to wake up early. And so I will get that ready, but we're going to read the last 3 of these. And then as we are doing the review, I will send that link
All right, what I missed?
Just that we're 3 last chapters. Well, we killed everyone, but we're keeping the...
Everybody's dead?
Yes, everybody's dead.
Okay, good.
But we are keeping the silver and gold for God.
Well, naturally, as you would.
Send in love, Captain Red Bull.
The prosperity preachers, even then, God needs to get paid too, back in the Old Testament even.
What kills me, Captain Red Bull, is not that this story is horrible and that there's really no morality in it at all. It's that they have the audacity to tell us that this is the most moral God. Like, it can't be like a hedging bet. It's got to be an all or nothing.
They get objective morality, absolute goodness, absolute truth, perfect morality.
And like, I can imagine a God that is actually decent. Like, you can imagine, we have superheroes and everything. Just make them a creator. One of them, if Spider-Man was a creator of the universe, he would be a decent human being. God, Yahweh's just not a nice guy. I know, top-notch moral foundation. Indeed. Slay them all. And all right, let's finish it up. And Joshua saved Rahab, the harlot, alive. Get that dirty, dirty slut. Oh my.
So she's basically a traitor to her people.
She is. Once again, glad they kept her alive, but because of her, everyone else is dead. So she's not exactly a good person either. On her father's household and all that she had. Wonderful. You can hear the thing in my voice. Like, it is just a horrible story. I really like creationists. Please, what is the apologetic? Give me a little bit more hope in your denomination of humanity. And she dwelleth right between their thighs in Israel.
Shmishmal.
Even unto this day, because she hid the messengers which buff-ass Joshua sent to spy out on Chris Jericho. Bitch.
I mean, which was actually kind of useless because they just walked around the thing and the walls fell down, so they didn't even really need the spies anyway, but whatever.
Yeah, that was actually, they walked around it and then blew on trumpets, and shouted. Or as we call it, science.
I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your walls down.
James, you don't remember an ancient warfare, the trumpet tactic of taking down villages and cities?
Well, you see, it only worked this one time.
It's one very specific time.
And good thing they didn't have iron chariots, otherwise.
Exactly, or else they would have lost. Yeah. And Joshua adjured them, like right up the pooper at the time, saying, "Cursed be the man before..." Well, cursed your God, actually, but sure. "Be the man before the Lord Bob," this lovely lady, "that riseth up." Hey, you got testosterone. It's the morning. We understand. It's healthy. "And buildeth the city, Chris Jericho. He shall lay the foundation hereof in his firstborn, and his youngest son shall he set up the gates of it." So the Lord Bob was with Joshua Madashua, and his fame was noised throughout all the country. He was known as the best genocider of all the land. Fantastic. Next music is like, I'd recommend all atheists finally move on from the Bible to really good, great books. Or I'll just take really good books. How about a decent book?
We'll get through it eventually.
Exactly. But yes, that is Joshua chapters 5 and 6. I'm going to send the StreamYard link into the stream if you'd like to join us. You have 25 minutes to do so. while we head into our Skeptic Bible Study chapter review. Woo-hoo! That is right. We
The 10.
in the book of Joshua, chapter 5. Joshua circumcised the male Israelites. He had
Ishmaelites.
all the Ishmaelites come up, get their shrizzle drizzled. They had not been before. Captain Red Bull out
Thanks,
for
Captain.
night. Much love, and I'll catch you both both later. Sending so much love, Captain Red
Appreciate
Bull.
the support,
It was
Captain.
an
The real
honor
Captain.
hanging out with you. That's right. I also like Red Bull. I get a lot of flack for all of the Red Bulls and the 5-hour energies and all that. I always joke because it's always like someone who will, doing something horrible. They're like doing something. They're like, smoking meth. They're doing heroin or something really terrible. And they're always like, that stuff will kill you, right? I'm like, yes. Though 5-hour energy isn't that great for you. It probably isn't. None of that. That's why you should stick to Mary Jane, ladies and gentlemen. Though I like caffeine because I have ADD and it's like a self-medication. A little caffeine helps you focus. But sending so much love to Captain Red Bull for hanging out with us. We hope we get to tuck you in. And we hope that this message of love and inspiration that the Bible has delivered you and us today, I hope it travels with you.
Command.
Exactly.
Brotherly love.
Yo, see? You say he's traded in Oxys for Red Bull? I just signed it all. Oh, it's so funny that I just used to get it from people who look at that stuff and they're like, that's going to kill you. I'm like, okay, well, so will Adderall. But, but I love me a vodka Red Bull. Anyway, we were circumcising the schmizzles off of all of the men, getting them ready for war, apparently, and being Jews. They really shouldn't do it, I guess, to children. You really should. If you want to be a man about it, and become a Jew, do it when you're 18 plus. That's how you know you really want to be Jewish. Joshua meets the captain of God's army. Once again, if you were wondering, I guess we found out what God's army was used for. Even though it was the priests that did it, I don't even know why they needed an army. I guess to just go in there and do the raping and the pillaging. Cool.
Right.
So yeah, we gathered men, cut their tips of their penis off, and got them ready for chapter 6. God plans the Jericho Massacre. Fantastic. A loving God. They got set up past the foreskin hills and
mountains of foreskins, as far as
mountains of foreskins. And I mean, if you're going to plan for a massacre, what would it be if you didn't throw the massacre? And that's what we did, ladies and gentlemen. And none of that women and children shit, okay? Everybody dies.
Children, Amy.
Yes. As sometimes the Catholic Church and I guess the Prophet Muhammad does. But yes, no, this time not even the children get away. Everybody dies. I don't know how God is the good guy.
Are reduced to plunder, to property,
yes.
But not even in this case, no.
Not even here. In this time, it's a happy ending. Everybody gets murdered.
Everybody's just killed, yeah.
Fantastic. I don't know what the apologetic is because this was horrible.
Why don't we look for that one day? We'll do a review. We'll listen to an apologetic of it, a pastor trying to retcon this and whitewash it.
Because, yeah, I would like to know. Like, when they say with Sodom and Gomorrah, they're like, well, they wanted the angel. You want an angel. And they're like, they're all evil. They were all terribly evil.
Lot specifically, he offered them his teenage daughters that they could rape.
Exactly. And that was the moral guy.
Yeah, these evil men, they didn't want to have sex with the young girls. The teenage girls, they wanted to have sex with these studs, these angels, and that was it. That's where God drew the line. I'm going to kill you, all of you, yeah, every single last one of you, because I love you.
Because he loves you. He's the moral one. But yeah, we're only going to go for a few more minutes. And then
when it comes on,
exactly. Yeah, Gizmo on there feeling all good.
What was I saying before the stream? I would mention if we didn't get drug in other directions about this because I've been seeing even on the sports channel. There's a particular sports channel that I watch, and the guy he slips in his Christianity every so often. It's like whatever. It is what it is. I watch it for the sports content. He's a Christian. He wants to let everybody know, okay, it's not a big deal. But he does this video about this Buffalo player who got hurt during the game, and they were doing CPR, and then all the players started praying for him, and they prayed for him on TV on ESPN, and they're just giddy because everybody's praying, and of course, everybody hopes the best for recovery.
Well, that's what I always say. I send my hopes, well wishes, and the best medicine is what I always like to put forward, because prayers are not going to reach. Given
the fact that he was getting CPR and the prayers, I'm guessing the CPR probably did more to keep him alive than the prayers did. If you could only choose one of the two, I would choose the CPR over the prayer.
Well, and they don't get rushed to a church, generally. They get airlifted to a hospital for the best medicine that we can offer people.
And everybody hopes that this guy recovers. But as I said before, this guy is a wealthy young man, and that there's nothing wrong with being a wealthy guy playing football, making money. That there's nothing wrong with that. But there are how many people in the world have heart attacks every day who don't have access to the best medicine money can buy? Well, probably quite a lot of them, and sometimes people recover, sometimes they die. It is what it is. I wish none of them would die. I wish they would all get better, but it doesn't seem like there's a God involved in all this. It just seems like it's just shit happening. And the fact that everybody's praying, well, I mean, you're watching this game, and then all of a sudden this guy's having a medical emergency. His heart stops beating. You want to think that what can I do? People don't like to feel helpless. You want to help. You want to do whatever you can to save this guy, to help him. But unfortunately for all of us who are not there, it's absolutely nothing we can do. But prayer allows people to think that they're doing something, which I understand that, and it's fine. Everybody wants to hope that they could have an impact in the situation.
Well, there's nothing wrong with talking to yourself. It's just
it's
when you think it's something else that can get problematic.
But they're thinking this is gonna be like a revival or revolution. No, this is just a little. This is not anything long term. It's not going to be people praying on TV all the time now. This is just a unique event.
And okay, we have our first person backstage, which means we are moving into the open mic. We got 15 minutes. And so if you are a young Earth creationist, now is your time to convert us to Christianity. Our
Before
bodies
we
are
run out of
ready.
time.
Exactly. And all right, we are opening up the open mic. We got Nick, and he's starting our Skeptic Bible Study open mic on the Jericho Massacre. What is up, Nick? I hope you are doing well. We are Skeptic Bible Studying on the Jericho Massacre. And what are your thoughts about the subject we'll talk about?
I'm doing well. I heard you say you've got 15 minutes, which is awesome. That gives me enough time to start the intro to my intro. So I'll just so we're going to start with, let's see, I was born in 1974. You don't mind if we need this for me to get into like all of the things I want to discuss.
You're like, you need to do your origin story right now.
Oh, how is everybody tonight?
You're doing very good.
No, that's good. Yeah,
How are you?
Oh, I'm doing fine, thank you. I'm not trying to fix
Welcome
my
aboard.
webcam, which is well, thank you. It's always a pleasure.
Well, you're probably not wearing your $800 suit tonight, so that's why the camera's off.
Let's not. You know what? I'm starting to feel a little uncomfortable with the subject of what I'm wearing and why my camera's off. So let's just can we pick something else to discuss? Amy, it's your stream. I'm not going to come on. I mean, listen. It's like I'm aware that there is basically. I'm used to like a dress code of a 400 suit. I'm aware when I come on this, it's like pants is barely. Yeah, I mean, come on.
We can't have just sweatpants.
Pants are not required.
Okay,
Pants,
fine.
Period.
That's
not
true.
necessarily required.
So sweatpants not allowed. No pants allowed.
Okay. Well, and I promise you, I will not Gavin the stream. Leave it to Gavin to become like a verb.
But come on, isn't it
kind
of amazing that there is? I know because of Iron, there are now a category that I call pantsless apologists.
And that category is larger than one.
Exactly.
Oh.
Larger than life.
Like a midi.
I'd have thought it was only one. I'm shocked to learn. Well, of course, it's always.
But not anymore.
Yes. So I hate to say it because I don't want it to make the channel blush. But I was modding. It was me modding, so I guess I can. Though I guess that'll hint what channel it is. But like this.
I thought you were debating that debate. I don't think you were modding that. I think that was one of your debates.
Was he?
James Coons was on screen.
James Coons was
on screen. You were debating that debate.
I have to look, but all I do know is that Iron was debating in his what is it called? What is the jacuzzi? And he at one point, yes, well that's where it ended up, is that he I guess wanted to get out for a quick second, and it wasn't a quick second. He ran through in the back, like in the back screen. And so he is now.
But he was naked the whole time.
Probably. Well, I don't that I expected. I mean, how else do you listen to a podcast? But it was just funny to have him flash. But yes, Nick, any other statements on the on that or?
No. I was just coming in because you know what? It's late at night and there aren't a lot of streams, man. And I just figured I'd come in and say hi. And nope, that's it. I just wanted to really okay. I'll be honest. I wanted to troll James. That's it.
You got some jokes for me.
Yep. The Hume, exactly. Well, I almost did a super chat on Hume, but as you guys are wrapping
Nick,
it up.
You find that line of humor humorous?
Wait,
hold on, let me say this.
No, I heard you the first time.
Okay.
You know what he probably thinks is humorous? Getting ready for his show, he's probably going to do a thing about the speaker vote at the Capitol. He's probably queuing up for that, right? Right, Nick? No,
that's it. We've been covering the speaker vote and also the because you guys had mentioned it right before I came on, the football player who got the I think was probably most likely a heart concussion. He got I forget what the technical term is of it, but I like they did not have. What was really interesting is if he survives, and the odds are really against him, but if he survives, it's going to be attributed to how many they had. They were prepared for this. They were actually prepared for somebody's heart to stop during the.
They have the defibrillator, right?
It's not, but not only that, but they actually had a meeting. They have a meeting before every single game where they sit down and talk about, okay, if it's this or this set of medical emergencies, who's going to take over? And they explicitly talked about somebody going into cardiac arrest, how they were going to handle it. And one of the things I found most interesting was in that entire meeting, not one of those people was a Greek Orthodox minister. And I thought that was interesting.
Huh.
Or Catholic minister. There were no Catholic ministers at that meeting.
Jewish rabbis or imams?
No, I haven't checked, but I'm pretty sure there were no imams performing rituals over the CPR while that was occurring. I haven't confirmed that. I'm, news organization. We try to be, but no. To the best of my knowledge, there were no imams. So, but there was a defibrillator, and there was. Normally, he would have been dead on the field. Well, he technically was dead on the field. I'm not trying to be snide there.
His heart had actually stopped.
Yeah, it was. The heart concussion. If they hit within I think it's a 20 millisecond window, right to the right spot on the heart, all the electrical impulses on the heart just go haywire, and then they all shut down.
Stop. Yeah.
Kind of. It looks like it was
thing.
that.
I mean,
yeah.
How many hits are there in a given football season every year over the years? And not something that happens all the time, but it's still,
It's less common in football. It's most common in Little League baseball and hockey. Believe it.
It's more in baseball?
The Little League baseball most. A number of reasons for that. The assumption is that, in baseball it happens because nobody wears padding on the chest because they assume they don't need it. So
they get hit with the ball in just the right spot.
Bingo! And believe it or not, it happens more in Little League. Ages 13 to 21, I think, are the most likely to actually get struck by this.
They don't have the accuracy.
Exactly. So it's and it's still phenomenally rare, but does happen. So. Anyways, but it it's I don't want to make fun of it, and I don't want to, but it is worth noting that yes, if he survives, it's going to be through medical study. And I think about this. This is a condition that is so unbelievably rare, and it could easily look to somebody like a miracle, not a pot, but it was his time, right? God just wanted him to go. He received a hit to the chest, and nobody knows what happened except. How far have we progressed where this is a concern we can think about? We now have helmets that at least reduce the rate of concussions. They're improving those. They're improving the gear that's helping to keep these people alive. It's already so much safer than it's been. And you can look at that across sports, plastics, metals, aluminum, steel, all of these things. And I would like to be thankful for all the contributions of priests and ministers throughout the ages. I've not found a huge many, but I think there have been a few. But steel and pasteurization, electricity, fire, glue,
the wheel,
antibiotics. No, none of those actually fall into that category. And
knee pads for Amy.
Yeah. Yep. So, but I'm preaching to the choir here, right? This is. I'm like, I'm gonna.
They love it though. Yes. They eat it up. They love it. They can't get it.
So
it's just like you're a pastor on Sunday telling them that the prayer really works, and that's that's how we know that prayer works, because prayer works. Did you know that, Nick?
So I've been told it does actually have an effect. It turns out that if you know you're being prayed for, you're more likely to have negative outcomes.
It can have a negative effect.
So
prayer does work.
Well, here's the interesting thing. We shouldn't actually even really be talking about prayer and whether or not it works. I'm going to have to go let the dog out in a second. I don't want him to wake up the family. But you're always supposed to pray in private. Jesus said, "Pray in a closet." So the fact that I mean, prayer has become much more that I can tell a
They
a
do
means of
other
virtue
things in the
signaling.
closet, but it's kind of the same.
No, I'm gonna. Okay, I don't know where you're praying. I don't know how you're praying, but I'm gonna beg to differ with that a little
Well, listen,
Okay, maybe a little.
your
quite
closet's
a lot, actually.
yeah.
She's been known to be on her quite often.
Yeah, I don't know what's
But
going on in
enough
your
about the
wardrobe, but
Republican caucus. Hey,
Oh my
politics
God.
blam.
oh my god, that's really why I come on. I'm not.
It's for the high brain comedy. And I feel bad. I think James got summoned by Saturn, but here he is again. Aha. But yes, we got 5 more minutes, which means young Earth creationist. I feel like this may not be the time that we get the good news. They've been waiting for the good news.
Well,
It has good in the name.
It's we've been giving, we as in the collective, the royal we, I guess, have been giving them a lot of time, and we've not been convinced. And I've told you guys before, and I'm completely honest about this. I would rather there was a God. If you're talking honestly with a lot of atheists, I found many more have that. Yeah, many more have that view. So you're talking to somebody who would like to be convinced, but I genuinely believe.
I could say that in a way. Like I didn't want there not to be a God when I became an atheist. I would have much rather preferred to have found a good reason to believe. I just couldn't find it. When after a while, you just have to realize that you're not finding it because it's not there, unfortunately.
And for me, it would depend on the God. Like if it was the happy, loving God that is just shooting rainbows up our butt all day, then fine, that guy sounds good. But if it's the God of the Bible, then it sounds like he doesn't like things being shot up my butt so much, and we may not see eye to eye.
Eye to eye was not the. No, okay. I'm going to move on. You have this fascination with gods and butts and all the. Yeah, okay. So, whenever I am listening, you have my attention.
Visualize, Nick. Visualize.
No. Thank you. We don't need the visual aids. The kitty in the background.
I know. Isn't Buttercup so cute?
I mean, everybody picks, when I talk to atheists about, because I one of the things I try to do, and as you guys know, I try to really listen to the other side and put myself in their shoes. So when I talk to atheists, I say, listen, wouldn't most of us really rather there was a God? But when I say that, when I say a God, we're all going to pick the God we want anyway, right? Every theist picks the God they want.
Sure.
They move from, so pick whichever God you want. But the idea that, you can, see your family again after you die, that you don't have to be afraid of death. All of these are awesome ideas.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm a huge fan.
You can see why people would want to buy into them, why people would want them to be true.
Yep. Oh, absolutely.
And you're like, if it was real, sign me up. Absolutely. I think so. I wouldn't want to live forever, but I would want to live much longer, or a second life or something like that. That would be an easy sell for me.
I think I could imagine one day that even if they will be able to get people to live forever, that after a while people will just voluntarily choose to die.
And I forget which science channel, and even though it was more a science fiction subject, there's going to be a point where we only die from accident.
This is going to sound like a plug. It's not. In fact, it's the bane of my existence. Has anyone here heard of the movie In Time?
End Time.
In Time.
It really is called. I didn't think it was In Time because you are in time.
It's the bane. I hate it. We used to rank number 1 in the Google search. Now it's Justin Timberlake. The movie is called In Time. It's a great concept. It's a really good movie. Google. I am not kidding. I hate saying it's a good
movie, and it's good.
The two
are synonymous.
Well, so here's what happens, which is everybody has a clock built into their arm, and when they turn, I think it's 25, that clock gets 1 year put on it. You now have
I've
1
seen that
year
movie
of
before.
you have 1 year of life, and there's no money, there's no nothing. They trade life. They trade
Time.
in seconds,
Oh,
minutes.
gotcha.
Yeah, exactly. So the currency when you work, they give you more time for your job. People are trading. You want to buy a cup of coffee, that's 25 seconds, whatever. And he basically never has more than a day left on his clock. So he is spending all his life just trying to get enough time to survive the day. And you see sort of what's going on with the poor and the lower classes. They're trying to survive, and then he inadvertently gets 7 million years. And so now he's trying to figure out what to do with 7 million years on his clock, and he will literally live that long if he doesn't. So it's called In Time. No, we are not based on it. I literally, this is not a plug for the show. But
Are you saying there isn't a character in there for $400 suit, $400 jacket?
Well, no, it was 400 years.
Okay, that's close.
Yeah.
What's up, anti-theist, atheist? Well, and I will say, we are about to head out. Our headliner is going to be Nick. We are out of time. Exactly. No. However, we do have a kitten. I keep on pointing that out. And with that, I think we are actually going to move to our outros. Because we have been Skeptic Bible studying on the Jericho Massacre, and I don't believe that there's a young Earth creationist that's going to join us and convince us that a God exists. Or I guess a creationist. I try and always paint with this thinner brush, but yeah, whatever variety, come convince us. But that we'll have to do on the next episode. Also, stay, I guess I'll talk in mind. But I think either tomorrow or one of these upcoming days, I'm going to start doing impromptu debate you. Because I really want to start doing more Discord and eventually Clubhouse debates. Oh.
What I do?
What did I do? Oh, no, I just sent it. Sending love and all the people to Nick's channel, you should be checking out In Time, On Time, the movie, and the YouTube channel.
Check out the YouTube channel first. I'd like to get back up to so that when people put In Time, they don't get Justin Timberlake first. I don't like.
I was going to say, is Justin Timberlake the bane of your existence? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah.
Mine too. Well, aside from Bruno Mars, but
well, and oh God, what's his name? Bieber. I despise Bieber. I loathe Justin Bieber.
Yeah, kind of disappeared. He became like a bruh. I don't think he aged well. I think that's kind of what happened. When you're into that boy band, it's kind of like a 50-50 whether you come outside
into the boy band. So into the okay. I noticed you didn't say like into that boy band lifestyle. Into the boy. I know where your head's at. I got it. No, that's all right. Yes, we're connecting.
But yes, that is where have all the young Earth cowgirls gone. Woo! I don't know anything you just said except for the word transition. What did you say?
Yes, he didn't transition well out of his teenage years into adulthood. I think that's what you mean.
Oh, he's an adult. Happens. I didn't expect that to happen. I'm going to believe that when I see it. Mr. Oh, I'm going to go to Anne Frank's house and put in the what is it, the registry there. Oh, sorry about what happened to Anne Frank, but I'll bet you she would have been a believer.
Good. Who said that? A believer?
Believer. That was Justin Bieber. That he wrote that in the Anne Frank house.
That hurts on a level, but
because he is a
sure, Justin.
Christian, or at least he
is
was.
He? This is getting hurt. Well, I hate to keep on saying I didn't want to bring him up, but I have not liked Yi before his going down because his whole gospel stage. I'm not a big fan of surprise gospel music. I'm actually okay with Christmas music. So pro Christmas music, anti gospel. I guess is where I'll cut that. And so
argue special pleading, but okay.
Well,
you use is always problematic.
Not necessarily religious.
And yeah, I would say that gospel is evangelical in a lot of ways, and Christmas has been it's painfully secular. Yes. And it's also on very specifically, if you're doing it properly, you have your Halloween, you have your Thanksgiving, you have your goddamn Thanksgiving, and then
wow, okay.
I'm sorry. Listen.
Yeah, okay.
And then you can play Christmas music. I will sing Christmas music. Okay, my atheist ass will sing Christmas music after Thanksgiving, not a day before, but after Thanksgiving. And okay, that's the end of my rant.
I worked retail, a lot of retail places for many years where they pump the Christmas music. Some places they would start that shit in September and force you to listen to that.
My god. See, I was gonna say in Walgreens it started in Halloween. This is where this rant originates, because I would have to fight Christmas music while I'm trying to get my fucking pumpkin Reese's. I'm sorry, I have priorities. I get,
after Thanksgiving is I can deal with it for a month. Not that I'll like it, but
yeah. Well, a novelty only has so much, because if you listen to it before then, it becomes like you could hear like a horror movie, like bum bum day one. And you're like, yeah, and then yes, and then it's like day 13. Jingle bells, jingle bells. Okay, jingle. And then it's like day 67. Jingle bells, jingle bells. Shut the
I'm gonna kill that fucking drummer boy.
Yes.
Stick his drumsticks, you know where.
Oh, that's an awesome song. Don't nod my little.
They're all amazing songs for 30 days.
Okay, that's fair. You also when Ye first. No, sorry, go.
I was just gonna say the person who makes it tolerable for me was Michael Bublé. He had a Christmas album out, maybe just because I think he just has such an amazing baritone voice that I actually liked a lot of his Christmas stuff. But
we need to make an atheist Christmas album. I am going to release religious theme songs on this channel. Most of them are going to be anti-religious, probably. But even "Take Me to Church" is like I don't know. It's a pro.
I won't even tell you what the title I used to call that song back in the day, like when it first came out, was.
Really? Why were you Christian when "Take Me to Church" came out?
Yes. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, now you.
That was 2012.
Now I do want to know. Now I didn't even want to know.
I used to call it "Suck Dick in Church."
Oh.
That was
Suck Dick in Church.
Yeah. That was. I became an atheist in 2014. So that was a couple.
2014. Gotcha. I'm trying to get context. I think I was transitioning into graduate school. I think because I've been in school way too long, like an oven. The government knows this. They're like, oh, we know. Okay. Speaking of being in the oven too long, like gingerbread cookies. We are going into outros.
Nicholas Lamar.
You are going to be our first and last as we are heading into our Skeptic Bible Study outros.
David Tudor's brother.
That's right. I am sorry that we were not convinced this night of any young earth creationism or Zionism or any such, but I hope you had a fun time. And where can people find you on the internet? And what are your final thoughts?
All right. Well, I'm going to do this backwards. I'm going to plug 2 channels. So,
absolutely.
Here's what I'm going to do. The first plug. Everybody listening to this, here's what I want you to do. shows like this take a lot of time and effort. And I know you take a look at this show and you compare it to mine and you say, not a high production value. James is on time, unlike us. Listen, James knows what he's doing. But, you don't have all the nice fancy bells and whistles. It takes a lot of work. And if you appreciate people who have talent like, and I'm going to say this once ever, I will never repeat it again, like both Amy and James have, it kind of takes, it really takes support. So there's a link, right? There's a thing right at the bottom. It says patreon.com/Amy Newman, like $5 a month. It sounds like nothing, but $5 a month from like just a few people adds up. So if you like this show, if you're regularly here on this show, that's what I think you should do. So I've got a channel too. Believe me, I'm going to talk about it in a second. But I think if you guys like being able to see people come on and like seeing the humor and the banter and everything like that, I think $5 a month ain't a lot to ask. And I hope people will consider doing it because I like the show. So, and they let me on. They're one of the few that let me on. I say, oh, can I get a link? And they're like, sure, we got nothing better to do, which, sorry to hear it. But, so that's my first thing. So,
sending so much love right back to you, Nick.
Oh, thank you guys so much. So, and I mean it. So I hope people will honestly consider that. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you guys too. As for my channel, it is actually literally called In Time. We do news, politics, and culture. Come on in, check us out. We cover breaking news. We talk about what's going on in the day and try to put it into some context so that, people who, there it is. There's the link. So for people who don't, necessarily, if you don't follow, especially actually people who are in other countries too, don't necessarily understand American politics or whatever, we make sure we cover the ins and outs of it. We've been doing a lot of coverage on Ukraine. We have a Ukrainian National Guardsman we speak to every Friday, and he's reporting basically from the front lines. We're not always able to reach him because it's difficult over there. So that's the kind of stuff we do. So I hope you guys will come check us out. And once again, thank you guys. Thank you. So thank you guys again for having me.
Thanks so much, Nick.
My pleasure. So that's it. That's my outro. I'm known for talking a lot. So I'm disappointed I didn't find a way to stretch my 15 minutes into, and then Hume said that if you're going to know something, but, we'll save that for another time.
Oh, well, that will just have to be. And I'll say this, and then I'm going to hand it over to James. We are thinking, I say thinking, I'm just like my brother. When I say thinking, that means we're doing it already. We're going to be doing a philosophy, politics, and science Sunday show. And so it's going to be basically like our two community things. We're going to have our Skeptic Bible Study, and then we're going to try and do something on Sundays just for a replacement. Everyone's so used to doing something on Sunday. Let's talk philosophy. Why not? Because it's the best way to counter apologetics.
Now, that stream, Nick, I will allow you to talk about Hume in that stream.
Yes, that's why I thought Hume. That's what got me there.
I will try to keep me out.
Yeah, we'll be on the menu for that stream.
Speaking of people who I believe love hearing about Hume, James W. We have been Skeptic Bible studying. We may not know how an is can formulate into an ought. However, we do know that this God was a giant dick because he just murdered a whole bunch of people tonight on this episode of our Skeptic Bible Study in the Jericho Massacre.
The course for this particular God, but hey, hope you guys found it horrible, and really hope we were able to make it. A massacre is pretty horrible, but it's par for the course for this God. He seems to be an asshole most of the time, but anyhow, thanks for helping us get through it, making us get through the stream. We'll be back later in the week. Remember, a week from tonight, I'll be debating on Standing for Truth channel versus Praise I Am That I Am about biblical slavery being morally good, which if you didn't know, I'm going to say that
wow,
it's not morally good.
So brave.
And, yeah. Taking a real stand. a real courageous, I like to think. But anyway, guys, thanks so much, and check out that. We'll be back here after the debate, and yeah, have a great night, everybody.
Ascended Love Regis says the show in time, not on time, but it does always come on at some time. I would like to think that this show, we run on Amy time here. Oh, Regis, I'm sending so much love to you out there. Great to see you. In fact, great to see all of you out there. It's great to see X Music and James Wolfe and What and Hillary's emails and Anti-Theist Atheist and everyone out there. We tucked in Captain Red Bull and Pat and Dr. Tapiocaweasel. And yeah, I'm trying to think what else. I'll do my I have a new plug. Who knew that I'd have a new plug? But there are multiple ways that you can get content. Yes, if you are a channel member or a Patreon, you get access to our Talk Skeptic to Me show where James, myself, and Gizmo will actually produce for you. We will help you just host. And you can say whatever you want about the topic. However, I do also have, if you want nothing to do with skepticism, you are a cooking show or something like that, then feel free to get produced by someone related to space lizards. I can't give you the full space lizard, but I am related. And you can go down there and I can help produce you. Yeah. Trying to think what else. James has his debate. I'm going to do a few more impromptu debate use because we've raised, I guess it's between 40 to 60 because really it depends on how the people cut out for our
YouTube
Carrot Top. Yes. Summoning. But we are going to get to 150 because
we'll get there eventually.
We'll do a bunch of extra streams that are just going to generate it. Won't stop believe. Oh, wait, no, we did stop believing. Damn it. Okay. But we will believe in those causes. And she is so cute. Oh, my God.
I saw Buttercup.
Oh, she's in her little den. Oh. And she is at the age right now. She should get an outro. Buttercup, how do you feel about theism and the harder questions in life?
Oh my God, wow, she's got some energy.
Oh, she tires the other ones out, which is amazing. And she's really rambunctious. She thinks that she's so big. I know.
By the way, I stand by everything I said earlier about the show, but your live chat, I think I'm no longer hanging in the live chat. Well, is that a high school picture? Really?
Are you getting bullied in the live chat?
I am. I'm just.
I saw a mall picture. I didn't hear anything. See high school.
It's not a high school pic. It is older. It's before the gray. Although I just saw some video from, like, you know how Facebook shows you memories from like 2 years ago and 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So my wife found some from like 5 years ago. My hair is just black, and I was just like, "Wow, it's been a long 5 years."
Did you have a? I love him, but did you have an Obama moment that was kind of having?
Yeah, well, no.
The presidency is a little harder.
I want the kids here to listen to me. Kids, you need to take good care of yourself. Don't do drugs and alcohol. Really stay away from cocaine, and don't go on YouTube. Whatever you do, do not start a YouTube channel. You're gonna go great. Amy's gonna be like, a year and a half from now. Take a look at Amy. She's gonna be
failed on every single one of those.
I died this.
Say no to drugs. Say no to YouTube channels.
Say no to drugs. I always say that no one's going to peer pressure you too hard into drugs because that costs money. And no one wants to spend all their drug money on. Some newbie's gonna waste it all. And no. What were we talking about? Drugs are bad. There.
Say no.
Just say no.
If there's anyone who can inspire you to stay away from drugs, it's Nancy Reagan.
If you got any, and
For a
send them
future.
this way. That way you won't be tempted to use them.
Yeah,
Shane.
We will take that hit for you.
And I feel bad. We are literally, it is like the outro of the outro. We're closing up. But Shane, you know what that
Got
means?
Shane's attention.
It means that the Skeptic and Ranting Discord server is about to open for the after show. The link of which is in the description below. We normally say that. In fact, I hope you had all a fun time on this episode of our Skeptic Bible Study. The Jericho Massacre.
All good things.
It's like the sword of love. I like to think the more it stabs, the more love it spreads. Big brain. Where we continued the book of Joshua as the prophet circumcised the male Israelites. Hey guys, want to have like a really fun boys' night out? And met the captain of God's army, who were completely unneeded. Like, you put 2 and 2 together, like just looking at this, and you'd be like, God's army, and then everyone dies. Oh, he's collecting an army to kill everyone. That is...
No. It's because he loves everybody.
Well, he had priests, blue trumpet, what I call, as I choke on the many things that I put in my mouth. But, no, it was just the fact that they had trumpets and they shouted. It was 7 priests and a bunch of people shouting, and that knocked the... What, like, seriously, was it made out of, they tried sticks and mud? I'm trying to remember, what are the 3 little pigs, or whatever the story goes? He blew and he blew.
Yeah,
what was it?
Straw sticks and bricks.
I'm fairly sure it had to be made out of the first 2, right? Because that was the only way that you get trumpets. Honestly, I don't think trumpets would actually get straw to fall down. But let's just let that one fly, and we'll just give them that. But, yeah, probably not true. You know what, James, Nick? I feel like I may be the first one to say this on the channel. I'm starting to get the feeling the Bible may not be true. I don't know. So something about it.
Your instructional methods are outstanding, but if it's taken you this many reads of it and this many episodes, I'm going to say as a professional educator, I have some concerns.
Just 1 or 2. Just
one
or
2. Yeah.
Besides that,
Pope Benedict's funeral on your channel.
I'm dressed.
Nick,
One second.
What?
You gonna cover Pope Benedict's funeral?
No. I almost felt a little bad that we didn't even cover his death. It was between him and Barbara Walters. I said, okay, we're going to do a half hour, 45 minutes on Barbara Walters. He's Pope Emeritus. You know what? When the Pope dies, even if it had been him, fine. But he was Pope Emeritus. I was like, we'll mark his death. We put it on the Discord. Because
but you have someone who was, who had a following, who was basically an institution and was beloved to the point of almost sainthood. And then you had a pope. And so I understand.
Oh, I see what you did. That was good. That was, you actually had me. You had me. You'd think by this point I'd have learned, but yeah, that was all the way in from the beginning, all the way into the end.
Also cats. And all right, I am sending so much love to all of you out there. And God planned to accomplish the massacre of the people of Jericho. Little things. So, as we watch the objectively moral genocide in Joshua chapters 5 and 6. Though I do want to thank sponsored by Pepsi Cola.
Water?
No. Yes, well, basically. Sponsored by my co-host, James W., and our guest, Nick. Ding, ding. And Peter. Along with our awesome mods who make this stream so great. All of the people in chat, and of course, lovely viewers like you who make this stream even possible. If you enjoy the show, please don't forget to like, follow on Twitch, almost at 100. Holy moly, trying to gain up that shadow sphere too. And subscribe on YouTube. Woohoo! Because then you gain access to that bell icon,
Woohoo.
which will
That's right.
you will see reminders of our premieres or our live streams like this right here. Holy moly. Or hey, I'm going to definitely find out what my gender or sexuality is right now, but I'm a potted plant looking for sun. What? Maybe. Leave a comment after the video's done. Too specific, too on the nose. If you would like,
the head. Right
on the head.
I'm not here. I was never on this show. I don't.
Never on this show. Exactly. Who are
This
you?
is
What am I?
A Peter sock account, right? Okay.
I need to get him.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He can come up with anything, right? He comes up as Satan, and he comes up as all these things. He's coming up as Nick now.
Same thing. Nick Satan. Will after if
Nick Saban.
or
Us Dolphin fans
why
prefer
not
the Nick
leave
Saban. Saban.
basically the same thing.
Yeah.
Or if you leave a super thanks, we'll leave you thanks on the next episode. If you would like, after the show is done, the Skeptic and Ranting Discord community opens up for the after show, after party, the link of which is in the description below, along with all of our fantastic channel members, which has been growing, as well as all of our lovely Patreons and supporters, all of the people who send in super chats, and finally, if you'd like us to help even more make fun content, the one who takes out the least amount of money, the best way to get money to us and support the channel and to get some unique perks is to head over at patreon.com/Amy Newman. I really want to thank Nick for giving a double shout out. I just have to now give a double shout out. You should be in time, on time, where you're getting your news. I am Amy Newman, and we will see you all on the next episode of Skeptic Ball Z. Good night, everyone.
Good night, guys.
Mwah.
Good old.